Alright, welcome everybody to SimTrax Broadcasting. I am your host, Patrick Morrison, and tonight is the debut stream of our team, and I'm super excited to have you join us. None of this would be possible without the help from my beautiful wife. Thank you, if you're out there listening. Our league sponsors tonight, Butt Kicker, Ultimate Siding and Gutters LLC, and Chapman Environmental Services, proudly offering a broad spectrum, regulatory compliance, permitting, field sampling services, and more. Visit chapmanes.com. Alright, let's get down to business. Racing, it's in all of our hearts. Racing reaches down to the core. Whether you ran with your friend to reach a certain point, or you tried to outrun a ground ball hit to third and you're sprinting toward first base. We all have racing in our blood, and the Racing Revolution has over 30 drivers who will do just that. These drivers, including Kevin Orlando, Justice Murphy, and Nick Alves, just to name a few, will be racing over 250 miles to reach that finish line and secure the spot in the season's playoffs. But let's not forget our Season 1 winner, Robert Rader. Over 5 wins in the last seasons, and the championship and looking to continue the same performance. So, man, he's going to have his work cut out for him. If you tuned in last Wednesday, that 53 Chapman Ford Environmental Services car ran away with the stage win and will be placing on the pole to start the Great American Race. Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida is where the Racing Revolution League will begin this season. Originally opened in 1959, Daytona began a new era in American motorsports. Only a few miles away from the old beach track, this tri-oval 2.5-mile course was the perfect replacement, especially Dale Earnhardt, who won the Daytona 500. Some say it's hard to be considered by your peers or consider yourself one of the greats in NASCAR until you have one of these winner trophies sitting on your mantle. Again, I'm excited to bring you the Coastal Financial 250 to kick off the season. Sponsor shout out for Coastal Financial. They provide financial services to individuals and businesses who are looking to improve their current financial position, achieve their financial goals, and protecting their families and businesses. You can find them at coastalfinancial.com, and you can also find them on Facebook at Coastal Financial. Alrighty, so for tonight, we are looking at a wonderful run here tonight, and I am super excited to see how this shows up for the race here tonight. We'll have 6 sets of tires for the race. Because it's a super speedway, these drivers will have one faster pair. And here in a little while, we'll talk to Robert Rader and a few other drivers and see what their strategy is here on the rest of the season. So you'll see we do have a good track temp there at 122 degrees. So it's going to be pretty tight for these cars to get hooked up here tonight. Not a whole lot of time for the tires to get heated up, but it won't take much for them to get going. 86 degrees is the air temperature, but we've talked a lot about Robert Rader here. So let's get to Trevor Earhart. He will be starting outside the pole since he won the second run there last Wednesday, the second stage, so he will actually be starting second in the run. So it's going to be a blast for those drivers here tonight. But man, I'm interested to see these guys get their way and get back out here on the track. We're kind of watching these guys kind of wrap up practice here a little bit and see how we get back on track here. These guys are kind of messing around and apparently going to be to the backup cars before you know it, but I think we're just getting ready to wrap up and see how qualifying goes for a lot of these guys. Definitely excited. Bowden Motorsports got my ears on. All right, buddy. Glad to see you out there, Adam. I'm excited to see your car out there on the track. I know you are hopefully representing who I think you are, but man, I'm excited to see that that machine get out there here tonight. But man, it's going to be a packed field here tonight, over 30 drivers. So I don't know about you guys who are tuning in. I am super excited to see what these guys can put down here tonight. Robert Rader, I assume, being out front and having all that clean air to start tonight, it's going to really work out well for them and be able to put forth a good effort staying out there in front. But, when you've got drivers, Caleb Gilbert behind him, you'll have Kevin Orlando, you'll have Trevor Earhart there will be right next to his, his passenger door there. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for that 53 machine, and I'm definitely curious to see what Robert Rader can do here to put this first one away. Last season, he had over 5 wins, and that is going to be a challenge for him from here on out, getting this going. for a lot of these vehicles. It looks like these guys are getting ready to commence qualifying, so we'll kind of see how any of these guys, if they start getting ready to line up here, we'll try to take a peek in on them so you can kind of see them going. Let's see who we got. We got Scott Negus out there in the 39 Ford. So interesting to see him back out here. He was kind of on a little bit of a hiatus last season, kind of there toward the end, but he was able to rejoin here in that 39 machine, so I'm excited to see how he ends up placing here. But boy, we got so many cars out here on the track, and we'll kind of take a peek. Nick Alves, another great driver out here. I definitely expect to see him top 5 here tonight. So if you're getting those fantasy racing deal, your picks out there, man, I would probably have to have Nick Alves in one of them. You know, he's definitely going to be one of those faster cars, and you know he gets up there and then he kind of gets robbed right there at the end. But he's going to have it cut out for him in that 24 Chevrolet. Seeing he's got that Coastal Financial sponsor on there on the hood, looking good for him. Let's see if we can go ahead and get that Simtrax drone shot of him right there. There we go. Man, you'd be impressed how we can get that drone to go that fast. Alrighty, and we got Nick Alves rocking around out there. So I'll kind of pop up a few things here and there when we get these guys start really placing some times here. Peyton Presley, kind of one of those silent drivers hanging out in about midfield there, but you know, as long as the field can stay all in one piece, Peyton Presley has a really good chance getting a good solid top 10. But you know, a lot of practice in the off season, guys, so something to keep in mind. You know, with the practice in the off season, you kind of start getting a lot more round. Your driving edges aren't so jagged, and we're able to pick up a lot more speed. So we'll see how Peyton Presley does out here and kind of take a ride around. It's going to be odd for the on the track here, seeing how these drivers end up placing here tonight. But man, let's go ahead and see if we can find what's going on here. At what they can go ahead and do. It looks like John Fike so far on the board. Boy, but man, look at those times. Look how close they are. But now don't get too worked up. These guys are just on their first lap getting around. Top speed of about 186 miles an hour here on the track in these new next-gen cars. So this is going to be quite a stack up for these guys. Really excited to see how this works out for a lot of them. Man, but yeah, if you kind of see it, Robert Rader there kind of placing that 17th position. He's kind of out there just getting a couple extra warm-up laps. He will be starting the pole, so no fear on that 53 machine ending up there. Ed Ryan, another fast lap there. Boy, man, but easily taken over right there, as we can see Alves and Caleb Gilbert there. A Ford and a Chevy up front. So really a good diverse field that we have out here tonight. A lot of guys, it's not really, that much spread apart. A lot of times I've commentated for another league, and about, all but 2 cars were Chevrolets. They had 2 Toyotas that were out in the field, and no one chose any Fords. But a lot more Fords here tonight, and really a good thing to see. These guys kind of separating and keeping the car lines, different styles out here. But man, look at the fast times. Caleb Gilbert gets out there, Nick Alves, Robert Rader, Kevin Orlando. So boy, yeah, right, just kind of what you'd think, what you'd expect. And Alex Berube out there in the 19 machine. He's a new driver. I haven't seen him before, but he has been verified by the Racing Revolution League, and he will be out here running some laps. I'm excited to see that. Good old Ted Rekich. We'll see where he ended up. Man, look at that. Fast time as he gets a 3rd place shot right there. So that should put him somewhere about the 5th position when he starts. So assuming that Robert Rader takes that inside line, that is where he's going to end up. Parker Johnson. So a lot of these guys starting to kind of round out and kind of end right here. Kind of getting the last little bit. Maybe some of these guys waiting a little bit longer, wait for that track to kind of change a little bit to play more in their favor. Boy, yeah, that is going to be a tough hill to climb for a lot of these drivers. How is this going to play into some of the kind of the game set? How do you place? Where do you want to be? Because some drivers want to start farther in the back. and would rather not start so late. But really, we're gonna go ahead, get this thing squared away, man. You gotta be excited about this run here tonight with these guys coming up. So let's see if we can get that qualifying right there. So Caleb Gilbert, Nick Alves, Ted Rekich, Robert Rader there. 1 through 4, Kevin Orlando, Berube 6, Ed Ryan, new driver, 7. Chad Lancaster, another new driver. Boy, look how many new drivers up in the top 10. Chad Lancaster, John Fike, Parker Johnson, Justice Murphy, Grant Thorpe, Blake Cook, all returning. That'll be your 10 through 13. And Jeremy Burns, there's another new one. Michael Bennett, 15. Trevor Earhart, 16. Travis Gilbert and Peyton Presley, 17, 18. So a lot of these guys are going to have plenty of room here to succeed. Getting farther up there. Brandon Richardson, David Stanfield, 19, 20. Ryan Wyatt was not able to get a hold of you, buddy, but hopefully we're able to catch back up with you. But I'm going to call you Twinem. There in the 21st position, Adam Bowden. In the 22nd, Jacob Sirkovich. 23rd, Scott Negus, 24th. Logan Romney, 25th. Kynan Jones, not up here in the booth with me, deciding to race this year in the 85. I believe the 85 machine, if I'm not mistaken, I think is what he is running here. He'll be starting 26. I believe he decided not to qualify. Along with Tay McDonald, Alex Kenton, David Buell, and Daryl Johnson. So the last 5 cars decide not to qualify out here, which is going to be a little tricky for some of these drivers. So we'll see how this lines up for them here so far. But man, really, here at Daytona, got to be excited. I'm excited. I'm ready to see these guys get going here tonight. Really, this is going to be something. And I want to, let's go ahead and get somebody in here. Let's see Robert Rader. Where are you? Oh, man. Let's see. All right, Robert Rader, you got a copy? Uh-oh. Robert, you got a copy? Oh, man. I know some of these guys are getting tangled up here. Let me see if I can find somebody else who is in here. All right. Let's see. Nick Alves, you got a copy? Oh, no. I was going to say, I think some of these guys might be getting a little tangled up from what we got going on here, and we'll have to catch up with them. I'm not sure if they're getting kind of stacking everybody up here really to see if they can get some of these cars straightened up. I know they have a lot of new drivers here, and what I would assume is most of these drivers, they're going to be kind of taking their time. So we'll kind of run through some of the drivers out here. And there's Parker Johnson. Let's see if we got any of these other guys out here. Let's see, Parker Johnson. Let's just say Tay McDonald. There's his sweet paint scheme with the Echo fasteners. Good to see him out here tonight. I believe Caleb Gilbert is the one behind him in the 40 machine. All right, man. I tell you what, I'm excited to see how many of these cars are out here on the track so far. Here's Kevin Orlando. That'll be a good machine. That mellow yellow 27 Ford. Boy, that's kind of sick. I do like that yellow on black look that he has there. So a lot of these guys kind of getting stacked up here, and really definitely starting to be kind of getting caught up with that, and we'll definitely interested to see, ready to get this one going. I think they're kind of giving this the first race of the season, so you kind of see that little warm-up timer that we do have up in the top corner there. I think they're kind of getting everybody prepped and ready to go. I don't know about you guys, but I'm probably like the drivers at this point. You've got to be feeling the they were starting to get the jitters, and with them getting the jitters like this, it's going to be hard to to start getting the feeling, starting to feel okay about where you are and where you're going to place here tonight. And you're going to have a heck of a time here. Getting, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's going to be it's going to be a shaky start for some of these drivers. You know, it's the first race of the season. We got 22 more to go after this. I mean, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see how this plays out. 100 laps are on the books here for tonight at the Racing Revolution League, and man, I couldn't be happier to be hosting it here with these guys. And Coastal Financial, really a great sponsor for this race. I'm excited to see, what, they always put on a good show, and I always say anybody who sponsors a race, they have the confidence in the racers themselves, and not just the racers, the league as well. So I'm super excited. Brandon Hinman out there. Let's see, Burns. Let's see that 9 car looking fine. So yes, I do read your comments out there, guys, out there in the chat. So we will see when these guys decide to go ahead and get their butts on the track or in the pit road, and we'll be able to take a quick little peek at them. But they're kind of hanging out there, kind of stinging right now. Not really getting out there, but we'll kind of see if we can take another peek, see if we can get that drone flying out there. What in the world everybody's doing right now? Kind of giving me a hard time. There we go. There's Trevor Earhart there. Oh, a lot of drivers there. Let's see, Berube, there he is, in his 19 Toyota. All right, we saw Kevin Orlando. Let's see if John Fike is out there. There's John Fike. There we go, with Nick Alves in front of him. All right, looking good there. Let's see if we can find the 88 machine. All right, 88 machine of Ryan Twinham there. All right, looking good. A lot of yellow cars out here. Parker Johnson in that Delta machine. See him out there. Let's see who else. Yeah, we got seen Tay McDonald, Robert Rader, and Caleb Gilbert. So man, these guys definitely check that out. Look at them getting kind of end of pit road spot. Some I would question some who do feel okay with that, and some who don't, being able to get a good shot in where they want to place here. It's going to be definitely exciting to see how we are doing here. Have to see what these guys are thinking about, but boy, it's something to think about. When we are looking at track temperatures over 120 degrees, and these guys having the ability to get out here, and this is their chance to put their name out there, show what they've got, and it's just it's Daytona. And to me, you've got to win at Daytona. And, even everybody, some say Indianapolis, some say you got to win at Homestead or the finale at Phoenix. To me, you've got to win at Daytona. It's not just, how is this here? So let's see out there. Hey, Patrick, Stella, look at you. All right, there's somebody from 10-4 Broadcasting where I came from. Glad to see that you found me out there. For you to come join us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. I am super excited to see you there. Let me go ahead and pop that up in the top right. You can find us at simtraxbroadcasting.com, and it will have all the links. If you want to watch us on Twitch, you can watch us on Twitch. You want to watch us on Facebook? Watch us on Facebook. I mean, you want to watch us on YouTube? Man, all the more power to you. Watch us on YouTube. So you can find us at simtraxbroadcasting.com. Boy, I tell you what, go ahead, check us out there. And I've even got something. If you're even to look to have me follow you to your league and broadcast for your league as well, I do have availability. So go ahead and hit us up. See what we can get done for you here, and see what we can get done. Ray Lane, I am not happy with you out there. You are out. And I am heartbroken by that, sir. I assure you. I really want to see old Ray Lene out here, really laying it down. I actually had you for one of my top 5 picks, and now I've got to swap you out here, man. Dang. All right. Well, Ray, hopefully you were able to get your butt back out here and hopefully give this thing another run for the money here. This is going to be quite a tumble up for these guys as we're getting for the last set of the warm-ups here. Let's go ahead. How is this league worth the watch? Absolutely. They do have certain stipulations here. You got to be over 18. You got to have a steering wheel. None of these guys are driving on a controller. They do have an I rating cap limit of 3,500. So your guys who who end up being absolute laser beams out there aren't here. This is a lot more of a rounded field, and these guys are able to battle with each other and be able to lay it down. So excited to see how some of these drivers can go ahead and place it here tonight. Boy, man, it is going to be definitely exciting to see a lot of these cars here. And I tell you what, man, I think they are getting ready to start gridding up. Boy, I can't wait. I can't wait. Holy cow. This is going to be super exciting. There's the pace car, and here we go. Fortunately, we are in iRacing. Super excited that we are, because, man, boom, populating all. There they are out there on the track. So we will see how they go ahead and stack up here. Robert Rader and, I believe, where in the world did he end up? I wonder if he just didn't qualify because he didn't want anything of it. Trevor Earhart should be up there, and he'll be in the second position. But right now he's sitting back there in the 16th. Oh, man. So we will have, I believe, a Ford and a Chevy starting out in the front row. So good to see on that mark there. A lot of guys out here to run. We do have 31 drivers on the track. This has got to be one of the biggest turnouts I've seen here at the Racing Revolution League. This is going to be absolute blast. Now that everybody's kind of loading in here, man, check out all these paint schemes. There's Ed Ryan there. So we'll kind of give you a quick little run through some of these guys here. Here's Caleb Gilbert. Man, out there out front. 24 of Nick Alves. Ted Rekich. Man, he's a fast driver, aggressive, but he's got to be careful here tonight because, yeah, starting this well far up front, you do not want to get tangled up early. Robert Rader. Excellent job by that gentleman right there. He's looking to continue his run here tonight. And we'll see how he ends up. Kevin Orlando there in the 27 from New York. Excited to see how he works out. Trevor Earhart, before he gets too far away, looking to assume his position up in the front. Look at that, from Oklahoma. Excellent. All right, Alex, let's see how that paint scheme's looking there, buddy. All right. Alex starting in the 6th position. Super excited to see how that goes. Chad Lancaster, new driver here from Florida, so he should be pretty close here to Daytona. Feeling pretty good about that. Parker Johnson running out here again in that Delta machine. Ed Ryan, new driver, another Florida boy. Excellent. John Fike, Alabama. Man, almost everybody from the South here. Another Tennessee boy right here. Grant Thorpe, glad to see you out here in that Dollar General 77. Jeremy Burns. Boy, Justice Murphy out there in the 12. So we'll see how Justice Murphy gets around here. Blake Cook in the 4 machine. Michael Bennett in the 14. All right. Peyton Presley in the 7. David Stanfield. Look at these guys. I mean, just so excited to see how they turn out. Adam Bowden, look at that. Sim Tracks on the side. I love it in that 83 machine. So I'm going to have you in my scope. Travis Gilbert in the 20th. Scott Negus, 39. Oh, man. Brandon Richardson in the 29 machine. He will be in 22nd. Kynan Jones, we'll see how he plays out here. Alex Kenton in the 89. Twinham there. All right. Daryl Johnson, 26. Sirkovich in the 27. Logan Romney. Man, look, these guys are just going to have their hands full tonight. Logan Romney in the 54 machine. Tay McDonald in his Ford will be starting 29th. David Buell here in the 30th position in the 52nd, and Shane Loveridge. So we do have 2 Aussies out here starting 31st and 23rd. Does not mean they do not know how to take lefts, although they may drive on the wrong side of the road. But, man, these guys are going to have it out for us here tonight. And, boy, what a show they plan on putting on. I am super excited to see how they come up. But, man, let me go ahead and hide this real quick. See those cars kind of come through here. All right, man, I am super excited to see what these guys have. This is going to be a blast. So once again, we will have 100 laps to run here, and this is going to be quite the pile drive for most of these drivers. Something to keep in mind, these are next gens, so we are going to have competition cautions. That is a league rule that they're going to go ahead and do here. Kind of get a good feel for what these tires are doing. Look out for lap 30. That is what these guys will be running, so lap 30 is what we're looking for that stage break. If a caution happens after lap 26, that will go ahead and count as the competition caution. So we pray for no wrecks. But, man, look at this. This is a stacked field. So I fully expect to see some trouble, but hopefully not bad. Look at these guys getting lined up. Let's go ahead, get an outside look here as we get ready to get this thing underway. We are under green flag. Robert Rader taking the first lead lap of the season here at Racing Revolution. Away he goes. As Trevor Earhart is taking the outside line, he is going to have his hands full right there. Let's see if he can get a little push there from I believe that is the 24 machine of Nick Alves. That outside line, once it forms up, it does work, but it will have to work for them fairly soon before they end up getting caught up here. We'll try to see if we can get a little outside view here from some of these drivers. Definitely a pile up here as it looks like Robert Rader gets us a little bit of separation there with Caleb Gilbert in the 40 machine going ahead and pulling away. Two Fords, first and second so far. Ted Rekich in the Toyota in third. Trevor Earhart in his Chevy in fourth, and Kevin Orlando in the fifth position. So really, you're starting to see everybody kind of stack up, everybody getting a little loose there in the back, and they got to be careful. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting in the Racing Revolution League. These guys hopefully will settle down here for a little bit, but we got a couple people out there rooting for Burns in his 9 machine, and we'll take a peek at him here in a little bit, as he is definitely kind of, I'm sure, tumbling around there in the back. From where I believe he started, he is in the 12th position right now, so he's got a good bit of work to do here. They are separating here. Very good to see. Really, for such a long race like this, this is what you're going to end up seeing. Is it's going to be a lot more stretched out and working their way through the race here. We'll talk to a few guys up here in the booth if we can. We had a little bit of radio trouble communication there in the beginning. But, yeah, guys, go ahead out there in the chat. Tell me what you're thinking. It's hard to call the race so soon. And, Stella, I see you out there calling Ray Lane, possible winner. But Ray Lane is not here. So he is going to have to wait till next week. And next week will be a doozy as well. We'll bring that up later on here in the broadcast. But right now, look at that single file all the way back to the 5th position. And Ed Ryan really having a kind of new driver here, but boy, I saw him in practice earlier in the week. Super fast. Just like everybody else, just got to stay out of trouble. And that 51 Bud Light Toyota can stay out front. So, super fast driver right there. And I know I had a chat, I believe, with some of the admins, and they did say, watch out for Ed Ryan in that 51 machine. So, yeah, it's good to see new drivers. New drivers bring new talent and new things for you to learn. Robert Rader won so many races last year that, who knows? Ed Ryan, John Fike, Jeremy Burns, these guys could come out here and teach that 53 machine a lesson. But right now, Robert Rader is schooling everybody on the track right now as he's leading the all laps so far. So really a good place to be out here, fresh air here at Daytona. Exciting to see from him, as this is going to be a heck of a race for Robert Rader. Boy, and this is kind of, if you tune in here every week, this is what you will see. These guys, they have been following behind that 53 machine, and he has been tripped up a couple of times. Last year he had a trip up at Pocono, and I believe another one was at Kansas, but that was a mechanical failure. And I believe 2 other drivers ended up with mechanical failures there as well for engines. And that is something else to keep in mind with these next gens. You will see these drivers kind of pop out to the side a little bit, as you see Trevor Earhart there doing just that. Trying to make sure he gets enough air to that radiator. These guys are going to have some trouble back there being able to do that. But, man, we are almost getting about 3 wide back there with Parker Johnson in the 48 machine. Getting there with that 00 of Ted Rekich. So, I know these guys were saying the aerodynamics are a little weird with these new next-gen vehicles, and that is going to be something to see out there in the chat. Let's see. Oh, man, there he is. My man, Sean Lattin. Glad to see you join us, man. I can't tell you, a lot of joy in my heart to see a lot of you guys following me from 10-4 Broadcasting over here to Simtrax Broadcasting, my own company. Excited to see you guys here. Really, this is I will cherish this moment. I appreciate you guys showing it for me. But, yeah, Sean Lattin, I'm going to go ahead and take that as a vote, as you're calling Robert Rader the winner here today. I believe, his mindset here tonight is going to be, If he can stay out front in the clean air, he's got a good chance. What I question is his fuel mileage. These guys are looking at about 20 laps of fuel. And then, you know, maybe if they're able to stretch it one more, if they're drafting, let's say like Parker Johnson kind of hanging in, you know, hanging in here, being able to stay in the draft, they may be able to stretch it another. So pit strategy is definitely going to do wonders for some of these drivers. Plenty of tires for the race. I mean, we are going to have 6 sets of tires, so they do have enough for each stop. But man, it looked like we do have guys actually starting to get separated from most of the field here. Looks like Bowden may have ended up in a little trouble. Oh, when we roll back there, it looks like Kynan Jones may be around. I may be wrong. That may be Shane. All right, and we bring out our first caution here, ladies and gentlemen. As that looks like a little trouble ended up brewing there in the back. And we're going to go ahead and have to cut away, and let's figure out what exactly happened here. And who ended up off the track? I know I did see Shane Loveridge kind of get a little tangled up with his car there. We're going to see if we can take a peek at what exactly happened. All right, let's go ahead. And Kynan Jones is in the 85 up top. And Shane is in the 72. A little hard to see because of the black numbers there, but let's kind of see what happens here. Ooh, wow. What in the world happened there? Looks like Shane may have just rode up and kind of, maybe he didn't know Kynan was there. Let me see if we can get another view here from our favorite guy here, that Michelin tire chopper. Let's see if we can see anything weird that happens here. One more time. Let's see. Right there, 2 purple cars, 72. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just like he loosened up a little bit and then just went right up the track and he kind of ate it. Boy, that's kind of a bummer for him. So we'll kind of see how this goes ahead and gets back underway. Loveridge will now be in the back of the field. So the 2 Aussies actually back here, 30th and 31st position. Kynan Jones having a little bit of trouble there, back 4 positions, so he's riding 30th now. But I did have a little chat with Kynan there for a little bit, and he did say he is trying to stretch it here a little bit. Boy, look at that. Everybody coming down pit road. Everybody coming down pit road. So, yeah, it may be, I wonder if anybody, yeah, a lot of these guys look like fuel and goes. I do not see any tires coming up, and I wouldn't assume so. We are only 9 laps into this thing, ladies and gentlemen, and, you know, 9 laps, first caution, no fear. I mean, you know, they do have plenty of tires, but there's no sense in sacrificing any pit time here. As we'll kind of see how this plays out and where these guys end up here. Kind of shows Logan Romney there, kind of out there in front. Not sure if there's a little fumble up there with my ticker. Shame on you. But it looks like, so far, Caleb Gilbert might have beaten Robert Rader out of the pits. So that is going to be good for him. Let's see. Loveridge is still in the pits. Travis Gilbert's still in the pits. So we'll have to see how this ends up here. And make sure Travis Gilbert is okay. And make sure we are getting that underway. But we're going to try one more time. Let me see if we can try one more time to get a hold of Robert. Let's see what he has to allow. Let's see. Robert Rader, you got a copy out there, bud? Who knew? Man, we are having definitely some difficulties here. Trying to get a hold of some of these guys out there. I'm not sure what exactly is happening here, but if you bear with me just a second, unsure what is going on. What is going on? Because, man, I sure would like to talk to some of these guys up here in the booth. I'm not quite sure if they're having a little trouble here. What is going on here? But regardless, boy, we are getting ready to stack up. Pace car lights are off. So we have just reached the 10% mark, and we're going to see what we can do. So we got a couple people out there. Let's see. Looks like Christian O'Neill, 9 for the win. So we got one call for Jeremy Burns in the 9 machine. We'll kind of see how that works out. Let's see if we can get that drone out there. There we go. In the 9 machine, and Sean Ladden, it always goes ahead and sticks with Robert Rader in that 53. So we'll have to see if that 53 machine can go ahead and get stacked up here and get back out front. You know, he is going to have Caleb Gilbert to deal with now. Caleb Gilbert was shown to be a good pusher there until that first caution came out. I'm not quite sure if little trouble from Bowden there in the back. I did see he was one of the first cars for that second stack, and they are going to have we're cut out for them. They got to be careful. It didn't look like too much damage from Shane Loveridge into that wall, so hopefully he did not have to burn that fast repair. You know, he's going to be able to take it easy and get this thing back on the way. As we're going to see, let's see, Logan Romney is out. That 31st driver, he did not make it. So I believe Logan has taken that one back to the garage. But right now we're under a green flag. Caleb Gilbert goes ahead and gets his first Season 1 start here at Daytona. So that 40 machine going ahead and staying out front. 2 Ford leading this one. Oh, man. And I am excited to see what these guys can do. But, man, just as they got single filed, everybody settling in. We are back 2 wide, and a battle away we go. Robert Rader, we'll have to see if he plays nice with any of these drivers, you know, with Caleb there in front of him especially. Or is he going to go ahead and try to make his move a lot sooner than we would expect? But we'll have to see. Look how close that 53 machine's getting. And he's got to be careful, as I said before, that overheating issue that they do run into. So they got to be careful. Good pushing to make sure that, you know, they can get a start into 3 and 4. But here we go as they get ready. Come up another lead lap there by Caleb Gilbert. So he's got to be feeling good about that. Unfortunately, I believe Travis Gilbert in the 341 is back there in 30th place. So his brother has a long, long way to go to make up there in the back, as they are already starting to single file back there. And talk about hanging on the outside. Kevin Orlando hanging on, trying to make that top line work. Whoa! As he gets a little loose there as we kind of chopper cam this here. Get that chopper kind of keeping up with him here, kind of floating above. And you do see, you know, from our normal angles, these guys don't move a lot, but they are definitely shifting and moving a bunch. So Ted Rekich there trying to give Kevin Orlando a little push to see if they can get, you know, the upper hand here on Trevor Earhart and Nick Alves. But really, it's just not working for them right now. But they are just going to have to hold out and see how far they can go. But, man, yeah, Robert Rader definitely giving a heck of a push there to Caleb. That way they can get out front there. But this is really rolling around here at Daytona. Lap 13, we are going on. So really, battle for third place here between Trevor Earhart and Kevin Orlando. But Trevor Earhart has not taken any, you know, given Kevin Orlando any slack here. You know, he is trying his best to hold that outside line. It's just kind of a give or take moment here. You want to kind of snug down a little bit to get a little bit of that door draft, but it's just ever so dangerous. You know, the guy on the bottom moves a little bit, the guy on the top moves a little bit, the two of y'all connect, and then, you know, right now you're battling for fourth and fifth position here, and you end up tangling around. But boy, you kind of see Kevin Orlando dialing it back here as he gets a huge shove by Ted Rekich there in the 00, pushing forward, trying to see if he can get that car, get that 27 moving, that mellow yellow. But Ted Rekich said, "I do not wish to remain mellow. Let's get our butts up front." As Ted Rekich, as you can see, taking that peek toward the inside, and maybe a little dangerous getting 3 wide there, but he may go ahead and give it a shot. Ted Rekich is not afraid to drive that car, as that Toyota is definitely, you know, showing its, oh boy. Man, as we can definitely see Parker Johnson. Here is the battle right here. It's kind of this, you know, that 6th through 9th position here. You do see these guys kind of shuffling back and forth. Where are they going to be? But boy, that outside line just isn't seeming to work. Trevor Earhart got to be a little careful there as you see him drop off the race surface. But boy, this is a battle out here. Patience Morrison out there. There's my wife. She's got her eyes on Kevin Orlando in that 27 machine. So, man, once again, yeah, we got somebody out there looking for Kevin Orlando. So a lot of, oh boy, Parker Johnson gets a heck of a push there. He didn't really appreciate right there from that 51 machine of Ed Ryan. So you saw that draft. He kind of didn't hold it too well right there. And a little squiggle. So Parker Johnson, good job holding on to it. We'll have to see where he ends up. But you know who I haven't seen? I haven't seen Grant Thorpe. Where in the world is Grant Thorpe? Grant Thorpe is back there in the 19th position. We'll kind of take a quick peek at him. Grant Thorpe trying to see how he can work his way up front. And he may be kind of taking his time here, working his way to get up to the front pack. You know, and that's kind of... You're kind of seeing a bunch of different strategies here. You are seeing, you know, I would prefer this strategy, more like Grant Thorpe, is kind of hanging in the back, let the race unfold, and probably about that lap 70, you know, really turn it on and get your way up to the front, make a good pit strategy call and get your way up there. But it looks like Kevin Orlando finally able to get his way down to the bottom line and is able to secure that 5th position in front of John Fike, who is a new driver here in that 09 machine. Glad to see him out here really putting on a show for us to round out the top 6 so far. But right now we're looking at excuse me. Boy, I got me all mixed up here. We got Caleb Gilbert, Robert Vader, Trevor Earhart, rounding out your top 3. Nick Alf, John Fike, Kevin Orlando, Ted Reckich, Parker Johnson, Chad Lancaster, and Ed Ryan rounding out your top 10. So this is going to be something there. But as I say, that top 10 is already being challenged there by Brandon Richardson there. They're on the outside line. So as you can see, these guys are stacking up super fast. Super fast. Let's see if we can see how fast these boys are going. We're riding along here with Chad Lancaster. 187 miles an hour coming around that turn. So you just see the amount of speed these guys are getting kind of here in the draft. As you see that front line working as John Fike has moved into the lead. Wow, crazy turn of events. That 09 Ford has moved his way up front and is now leading the race. So I don't know if tire wear is starting to come in effect for those guys out in front in the lead, but it definitely is showing now. And check, boy, it's like this entire field almost flipped. David Stanfield in the 31 machine. Check him out. All right. Good to see that 31 machine. He is now broken into the top 10, riding in the 7th position. And it's kind of this, the inside line is just starting to fail at this point. And this is what I was talking about before. If you can get that outside line formed up, get a bunch of good guys, get those, you know, the tires warmed up, the marbles start moving farther up the track, and away they go. As Ted Reckich goes ahead, and he now gets the lead, but not for long. He is being challenged by Fike. Definitely a tumble up here. And we'll see if any of the track temperature has anything to do with it. Track temperature is at 116. So if you do see the track is starting to cool down a little bit from that 122 we did have before. So these guys rolling down the backstretch here. Man, as it looks like Reckich is going to go ahead and check out of that top line, taking Chad Lancaster with him in the 22 machine. Man, wow, how fast these guys are going here so far. What a great run to see how the Coastal Financial 250 is going for us here so far. And we got a lot of guys trying to move around here. Scott Negus up 7 positions. He's now in the 17th position there in the back. But, man, check this out. David Stanfield. All right. It's good to see that 31 in that black and green car there on the high line. Key is not to bail out. That outside line is working right now, and I think it may be suicide to really cut down as Brandon Richardson wants to hold that lead, makes a good block maneuver, and holds off David Stanfield. So now, Tay McDonald, 25 spots up from where he started. He decided not to qualify, and he is now up here in the 2nd position. Trying to keep that outside line hopes alive. Ted Reckich, got to be careful falling off that apron like that. Has a good way to get loose, but you definitely see how the tire wear is starting to take effect. A lot of these guys separating out back toward the bottom. And Robert Rader right now has dialed all the way back to the 13th position. Back there with Caleb Gilbert. So they may be trying to take it easy. They had a good run there toward the beginning. But, man, this is where the trouble starts happening, is when you see one half of the field start switching up with the other ones. Stellar Stella out there waiting to see if Wreckage gives us another highlight reel. I'm unsure at this point, as it looks like Brandon Richardson making a really gutsy block right there out there on Tay McDonald. It is a good, a textbook move trying to slide up in front of that 73 car. But Tay McDonald showing you, no way, Jose, I will not do that. Going ahead and pushing that car out of his way, forcing him back to that bottom line. So Tay McDonald is going to be leading this lap right there. He goes. So 73 now has a lead lap. Excellent job by that gentleman right there. Tay McDonald really moving his way up front here and really getting it going. Man, you just see how that outside line just got to be careful. As you got, and it's not what you think is, these guys are just moving around so much, and the cars are starting to loosen up, especially with that tire wear. 22 laps into this thing. Man, this is going to be a battle. Sean Latin out there in the chat. Hey, man, talk to me. Is this Robert Rader? Is this what he's looking to do? Is kind of falling back the way that he is right now in that 13th position, but we will have to see as they get tangled up around here in the back. I did see Grant Thorpe there. Looked like he was getting a little frustrated there in the backfield, so he's going to have to start giving a good push. They're working on the outside. Scott Negus here. And it looks like he'll have the 14 machine and Michael Bennett following him. So that a lot of Chevrolets. Got the 77, the 14, and the 7 here. And the 4 car there, all Chevrolet. So a lot of these guys, the Chevys are falling off here right now. But right now, the Toyotas and the Fords are the ones mostly sticking it out here toward the front. But we'll rotate back up here where most of this action is. Boy, these guys are starting to give one heck of a battle here for a lot of these times. This is just a lot of movement here. A lot of movement. These guys just got to be so careful about where they end up. But, man, let's go ahead and see if we can get back to that chopper view there. And you kind of see them wiggling. Woo. A little blink there, but I believe that was Twinham there. And that black and yellow car. Yeah, you just see kind of how they move around. See David Stanfield kind of rides up the track a little bit, and that is actually a good idea to aim around the turn as you kind of drag that car up a little bit. Use the aerodynamics, kind of against you at that point. Is you use, the air coming at you to slow the car down. He was getting a little too fast. But as you can see, he kind of bumps Tay McDonald there and now starts shoving that car back forward. As that is going to be really tangled up there. If I am mistaken. That is the 29, Brandon Richardson there. I'm sorry about that, bud. 31 is pushing the 29. You guys from the top, the numbers kind of mixed me up there, but I should probably pay attention more to the hood there, especially with Brandon Richardson running that Voodoo car. So that is going to be a blast to see him running out here in that track. Seeing how he gets around here, but boy, look at these guys, still too wide. And that outside line still staying together and is working its way around. Ted Rekich now falls back to the 6th position, holding his own and remain calm and work his way up front. But Tay McDonald getting a good lead. He did end up having to go to the backup car here. I did watch him in practice, and that 73 car, clipped the wall a couple of times and then got spun out toward the end. Really a heartbreaker for him as that gets going. But, man, talk about somebody out there rooting for that 9 car of Burns. Down there on that bottom lane, he just got to get some more help from Ted Rekich there in that 00 car. But it is not looking too good as that bottom line is just kind of falling apart. So now Tay McDonald will go ahead and show his long run ability and go ahead and stretch this one out. The top 4, let's see, we have Tay McDonald, Brandon Richardson, David Stanfield, and right now Jeremy Burns. Going ahead and sneaking into that 4th position, Ed Ryan in the 5th. So they're kind of showing what they can do here. Berube in the 19, look at him. A lot of speed out of his Toyota getting up there. I believe him and Scott Negus are our only Canadians in this league. So really good to see everybody around the world out here really putting on a show for us here. We are getting pretty close to that stage break here. So this is going to be exciting for these guys, and it's really a heck of a shootout to get this one hammered. I do not believe they win any points or anything for this stage. It'll just be kind of a competition caution for these guys. But I will admit, Daytona, the winner of this race will win $20. So there is money on the line. So keeping clean and, maintaining calm is the key to this race. You've got to make it to the end. Even if you don't win to the first place, to get first place, you've got to maintain to the end. As we keep a little check there on Robert Rader, still hanging back there in the 12th position. So he's kind of hanging back there in that single file line, and I would definitely expect to see if his team, his 4-Star Motorsports, is starting to team up and see if they can form a line and take it after this competition caution and get it going here. But yeah, it looks like, believe, let's see, yeah, Jeremy Burns there in the 7th position. We'll kind of see how he's doing there. Got a few people looking for him. Let's see if we can get that drone out there fast enough. There he is. All right, he's there in front of Parker Johnson. But boy, look at how they kind of wiggle around. Ed Ryan, you see, definitely touched the bottom of that apron there again, and really has got to be careful of this thing. It is definitely slick, and it's going to start getting even worse. Man, look how they move around. Boy, that just makes you pucker. You don't want to see that happen, as these guys are sliding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to get this thing underway. But guys, we are looking at getting ready to get pretty close to that stage caution here at the Coastal Financial 250. Man, this is starting to really stack up to be one heck of a run there. Looks like somebody up there gets a little loose. I believe the 22 machine of Chad Lancaster goes up there and almost kisses the wall there just a little bit. Tay McDonald going ahead and checking out from the lead and moving Richardson into the lead. David Stanfield, highest I've seen him here, riding in that 2nd position. But the key is maintain that heart rate. Now, a lot of guys, what you end up doing is you get to this position and you start to panic. And it looks like, wow, we got a lot of guys pitting right now. And I'm really surprised to see that. We have a lot of guys pitting. Tay McDonald being one of them. Caleb Gilbert. Robert Rader pitting. And I do not know if they're going to waive off the caution here, or if they're still taking the caution. It's like it didn't stretch quite far enough. So that does leave John Fike in the lead right now. I'm trying to see if they're trying to gear down a little bit to see if they are going to go ahead and dive in here. So John Fike, Parker Johnson, Jeremy Burns, David Stanfield, Trevor Earhart remain out on the track. But we got a couple more diving in right here as they're coming up to lap 30. Really interested to see why. There we go. There's the stage caution. That's what I was looking for. So these guys just weren't able to stretch the fuel. So John Fike takes the stage win here. All right. So that works out for him. Your stage winner will be John Fike there. All right. I like what his hood says. Fike, take flight. All right. I like that. I like that. All right. That 09 machine goes ahead and secures the stage win there. And I believe with the speed he is going, my gut would tell me he's out of gas. I think he's out of gas. He gets the stage win, but he's dead. Yeah, that car is done. He has to neutral this thing out. Let's see if we can get in the cockpit and see if his engine's on. Yeah, his RPMs are 0. He is coasting right now in the pit. We are going to have to see if he can make it. Oh no, John Fike. Fortunately, he is pretty close. 42 miles an hour will be enough to get him into pit lane, but to his pit box, that may be something else. So we'll have to see if he is. Let me see if he is a free agent or if somebody has picked up Mr. Fike. I believe Fike is a free agent, so I don't know if he has any buddies to help push him toward the front. Boy, that is going to be trouble for that 09 machine. I know we should probably kind of float off here a little bit, but we are definitely going to have to be very careful and watch and see what he does here, if he can go ahead and make it. Because this could be the move if he can make it. Does he make it? Oh, come on. Yes, he makes it to pit. Holy cow, John Fike in his Ford is able to make it, fires that thing back up, back onto the course. Excellent job. All right, as everybody else is probably going to come back down pit road once again. If they didn't get tires before, they're just going to go ahead and top off, because this is not really what they expected here toward the end. I think they were going to, think a quick green flag caution and make it to the end, but they tried to stretch it. Indy, what does the stage winner mean? Really, at this point in this league for this race, I do not believe stage win means anything at this point. These guys are just going to head out here and they are competing, but I do not believe they're going to be winning anything. It'll be the race winner that will be winning the race here tonight. I believe that will be $20 in the bag for the race winner. I do not believe any stage they will be winning anything here at this point. But really, I'm having some trouble getting a hold of some of these guys out there in the chat, and we'll have to see if anybody can go ahead and end up joining me here. Let's see what in the world is going on with
Disney.
what is going on. Let's see.
Yeah, we have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, go ahead and talk to me, bud. You are on the air.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so with guys running out of fuel and the caution coming out when it did, and the guys that were on pit road, it's just got everything really jumbled up. So everybody has to get caught up to the pace car here. We'll probably have to delay the green, but it'll get all sorted here. Everyone is just mixed up, and they're getting confusing commands on where they're supposed to be. So it should work out.
Yeah, definitely a tumble up here from you guys. I did see you kind of marching back there a little bit, Robert. I tried to pull you down into the booth, but I think we're having a little bit of communication problems as we get moving around here. As I keep moving you guys around, you know, what is? How is the track? First of all, let's start with the track. How is the track handling for you so far out here tonight?
The track is all right. Hold on one second. I got to race control for a second.
Yeah, bud. I was just saying, if Nick Alves is there, I'll talk to Nick.
Yeah, so just we got to delay it one lap here.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just a little bit of a mess with iRacing scoring and stuff, but it will be all right.
Okay, yeah, so we'll just try to see how we can get that one going. And definitely that fueling window, we did see you guys pit on lap 9. Figure if you were able to get about 20 laps out of that thing, you guys ended up having to pit right before the stage caution, so that did get everybody all jumbled up. Really, was that planned? Or did you guys just flat run out of gas?
Well, those guys that were racing hard there weren't going to be able to make it, so they had to come because they burned too much fuel. The rest of us decided to pit for strategy reasons, and then I messed up on my pit road entry, and so we're all behind a lap now, but we'll be all right. Plenty of race.
Boy, that is definitely a bummer for that, and it just seems a little weird. I know John Fike, we watched him up here. He actually had to coast in the pit since he stayed out that extra lap, and he did run out of fuel, so he had to float his way in, but he was able to make it there. But good talking to you there, Robert.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, bud. Alrighty. We're seeing Robert Rader back here in pit, so definitely kind of weird there. They said kind of an iRacing stumble there. Interesting to see. But we'll have to kind of float around for some of these drivers. And a lot of these guys being out there still on the lead lap is going to work out good for people like Ted Rekich, Peyton Presley, Grant Thorpe, Nick Alves, and Tay McDonald rounding out your top 5 here. So these guys definitely getting a little mixed up here. You know, and I think that's kind of what they're saying is they're having to kind of get iRacing to square this one off. See, the pace car lights are still on, so they're going to have to do a wave around for a lot of these drivers here. And I would definitely assume some of these guys may or may not get the wave around here. But we'll kind of take a peek and see what is going on here. But let's see. Stars and Stripes car. Stellar Stella. Talk to me. Who are you talking about, the Stars and Stripes car? And that will help me out greatly as we see all these guys kind of stopping here. And see see who you thought. I know somebody out there had some Stars and Stripes out there. Let's see if we can figure out who you are talking about. And we'll go ahead and get that one back underway. But boy, yeah, you are seeing how they're stopping on that back. On the back there and trying to figure out how to get this one back underway. But this is just starting to be kind of a tumble up for some of these drivers. There's Kynan. Oh, as soon as he can get over those campers. There he goes. There's kind of. As we see, let's see Circovich here. John Fike. Let's see how he gets going here. There we go. Probably that 89 machine. That's who you're talking about right there. Let's see if we can get that drone floating out there above that 89 car for you there, Stella. There we go. See if we can get a little closer to this car. Of that 89 machine of Alex Kenton in his Chevrolet. So good to see him working out here tonight. I believe he is a new driver out here. So we'll see how he ends up faring. All right, and they are still trying to get stacked up here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard, we did have Robert Rader on the, kind of in the booth here, and he was, he's kind of saying the same thing. He's a little confused. People are all messed up. Things are getting confusing. It's really, man, you got a couple of guys coming back down pit road. Nick Al's back down pit road. Grant Thorpe back down pit road. So a lot of these guys coming back in. Gilbert there. Let's see if I can get away from those daggone campers. It seems seems the cameraman wants to be in the campers. I don't want to look at the campers. Alrighty. Let's take a quick little peek at all the people down pit road right now. Bowden, Circovich. Boy, it looks like everybody came back down. It may be an idea that these guys are all going ahead and deciding to pit. But let's go ahead and talk about next week. We are looking at Las Vegas. We're going to be at Las Vegas for the SmartWave Solar 200. 134 laps there. And that'll be the 31st of August. So excited to see that. That'll be next Wednesday here. Same time. Same broadcast company. Gotta love it. I love it when you guys show up here to say hello. And then that way we can go ahead and get that one back underway. But man, still these guys are trying to figure this out here. And we'll kind of, we'll have to see how this plays out. It looks like pace car lights are off, but they are single file, so I don't like the way that feels. They are probably going to extend this one more time to try and see if we can get this tangled back up. But we are going to head to commercial, and we will be right back and see when these guys go ahead and get this thing squared away.
One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
All right, and I believe these guys are going back green. Single file. Interesting to see on that restart. We'll have to see how this kind of gets worked up here. They may have kind of given up iRacing, got a little fumbled up there, but here it goes. And this should be good for, especially for Ted Rekich, being able to hang out there in the front. But boy, look who is on the move. Tay McDonald working that outside line immediately. Taking no prisoners, working his way into the 4th position. So a lot of fast move by that 73 car, but just no one out there to support him, unfortunately. And that is going to leave him stranded if he cannot seem to get anybody to go along with him. So a lot of battling here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Robert Rader back here, where these guys are starting to stack up pretty well. I know Chad Lancaster leads that charge on the outside of that 4 car of Blake Cook. Blake Cook on the inside with his Chevrolet, definitely looking to hold that line and keep Chad Lancaster and his Ford along with Parker Johnson up there in his 48 car. But it looks like Parker Johnson go ahead and ditching that high line, and these guys are all starting to try to clump back together, get back in one single line, but it is not as easy as it looks. A couple of cars there way in the back seem to kind of miss the memo on the green flag, but we, I think we did as well up here in the booth. Little trouble here, but boy, is it, as you see it, with these guys running single file, it is not taking very long for some of these guys to start stacking up. They are starting to definitely move their way up front, but a fast mover right now. There's Kynan Jones moving his way on the inside, so Kynan up to the 5th position. So, talked to him before. He is getting a little feel for these next gens. But it appears that is different. He's getting a good feeling for it at this point. It looks like Kynan Jones, Australian boy, in 5th. So he is definitely moving with a lot of speed here. But man, look at these guys definitely shuffling through the field, as we got a lot of moving parts to this race here. Man, really, definitely a tumble up for him. Let's see, as they're going 3 wide back there. Burns definitely in a lot of trouble there. They're on that high side. He's got to be careful, kind of get his way back down toward the bottom. Try to start conserving some fuel, but end up in a more friendly place. I would not want to go 3 wide here at Daytona. Robert Rader making a huge move there, back in the 13th position. He was way far back there, but he has definitely got his work cut out for him, as he is on the lead lap at least. So at least that is decent. Richardson and Stanfield on per hour ticker, the only ones down right now, down by a lap. So that is a bummer for David Stanfield, who was up there in the 2nd position, is now back 1 lap down in the 30th. So that is going to be detrimental for his restart here. They are definitely kind of stringing back there. I'm not sure what happened going on from that, but man, we are got a one heck of a tumble up here. Look at these guys pile driving away, but look who is the fast mover up front. Scott Negus up front here in his 39. But look at how everybody clumped back together. 3 wide, getting double stacked all the way, starting with 3rd and 4th place there. These guys kind of trying to work that outside line again. It did work for Tay McDonald, and Tay McDonald may want to go ahead and stay up there in that lane. Get that Ford, those 2 Fords moving on that high line and see if they can get it to form up. But they do have to wait. That track has got to start heating up. The marbles got to start moving, wait for the tires to settle in, and away they can go. So Kynan Jones has a chance of leading the race, but not just yet, as you see Ted Rekich cuts him off really quick and gets up in front of him. So, man, really what a move there. But Scott Negus has the lead, but we are going to shift back and forth between the 00 and the 39. So these guys are having a heck of a time here, pushing their way along, getting through here. No way, this is great racing out there, and I am so glad for you guys to join me here at SimTrax Broadcasting. But we'll see how Burns holds out there in that 9 machine. He did get dialed back there to the 8th position. Good for him. He is up 6 positions from where he started, so that is still a good sign for him. But Ted Rekich leading the charge out here. Tay McDonald, look at that. Good move there toward the inside, going ahead and capitalizing. And we may have somebody around here. It looks like the 8 machine of Daryl Johnson makes a really just ugly move there and has now caused a huge pileup. Michelin Chopper View, do your best. There you go. And caution is out. Wow. That was, boy, Scott Negus is not going to be happy about that. And I will assure you, if anybody out there is going to be using some of those fast repairs, I think probably the top 10 will be using them, because that is that really bent a lot of cars here, right there in beginning of turn 3. And it looked like it started with the move from the number 8 car, but we are going to go ahead and see if we can take another peek at this, at what's going on. This may be another one to add to our montage here. As you can see, that 39 machine there at Old Pocono getting mixed up there, but let's go ahead and take a peek and see if we have another addition to our montage. Here we go. 8 moves down into Scott Negus. Scott Negus has nowhere to go. He tries to float up, and the 8 just continues. Boy, and they just keep stacking up Nick Alves. Once again, 24 getting a boatload of trouble there. Scott Negus all bent up. Boy, that is not good for that car. That is not good for that car. And it looks like Kynan Jones may be broken too in the middle of that. Yep, his car is smoked right there. Yeah, he's broken that front of his car. So let's go ahead and take a ride. Actually, take a ride with Kynan Jones here and kind of see what exactly happened. You know, kind of to unfold from his perspective at what happened here. Let's go ahead. Man, I know I get a lot of things about the cockpit view, and people love this. But let's see. Let's take a ride along here with Kynan Jones and see what he saw going into turn 3. Oh. Yeah, just when you thought you'd survive with Ed Ryan. And then, oh yeah, and then, yeah, the carnage just continues for Kynan Jones, and that will absolutely do it for his vehicle there. As you can see, we get that drone footage, that wheel is broken off. So yeah, he cannot move. Wow, that is a bummer for him. But we'll have to see where he ends up, as I believe he is in pit road now, trying to see if he can get that thing squared away. Hopefully Kynan Jones has not used that fast repair just yet. Really hope not, but we'll have to see how this works out for him. Boy, there's a lot of these guys. It would probably be a really good idea to oh, we got tires going on. All right, we'll check back in with Kynan there, but let's go ahead up to the front. And I think we're going to have another mix-up here again. Let's see. Shows Fike is up front here. But it's kind of showing on our ticker as he is in pit. And Berube, second. Wreckage, third. Travis Gilbert, who was all the way in the back in the 30th position, here in fourth. And Jeremy Burns in the 9th. Well, in the 9 car. There in the 5th position. I believe he is for Team Disconnect. So we may have to have a little chat with him if he gets in the podium position about what Team Disconnect is. Gotta know. This is on his car, and I gotta know. But we'll have to see how this plays out for a lot of these drivers. Looks like we got a little Kevin Orlando lagging out there. Gotta go ahead and get that thing squared away. Pace car lights are off. Some of these guys are going to have to see how some of these guys get lined back up. I don't think anybody is still in pit at this time. I may be wrong. Let's see if we get the drone back out there. Looks like Ed Ryan and Kynan Jones. They are still in pit. Boy, not good. They are definitely going to have to hurry up. Definitely have to hurry up if they want to get back out there. But let's go ahead and see Brandon Richardson trying to tear back around, get his way back up front. Looks like David Stanfield's gone ahead and caught back up. All right. Let's see how all these guys are going to go ahead and line themselves back up. David Stanfield, I do not believe he was lucky enough to get the lucky dog. Brandon Richardson, he'll be up front. He'll be in the 26th position there. Boy, this is going to be some trouble here for a lot of these drivers. Robert Rader up here in the 9th position. Let's try to get some of these other. Parker Johnson in the 12th. Peyton Presley in the 7th position. But right now, John Fike with Berube in second position. Canadian definitely kind of falls asleep on that restart there a little bit and has now fallen back to third. Rekic will not get a black flag for making the pass in that. He did stay his race line, but that 19 just a little slower on that restart as they get back underway. Trying to see if Fike is going to work that top line with Berube there, but Rekic showing that bottom line is the one to keep, as Burns is going to go ahead and try to get him pushed around as well. So we are definitely looking at this top stack here, as these guys are going to have to push their way through. Ted Rekic, definitely known for wreckage, but he is very, very fast, so we'll have to see how this goes. Burns is goated, so we'll have to see if that 9 can survive. You know, I hear a lot of good things about Jeremy Burns, but I will have to see how fast and how well he can get going here tonight, and see how well, you know, what he can do as a show on for us. Let's take a little ride along with Jeremy Burns. Fading out there a little bit. I think I may have done a little something to Jeremy Burns there. Looks like he's rolled back to the 10th position there. You saw kind of how people were, you know, kind of passing there a little bit. Just don't know. And that's kind of weird. It's, you know, where these cars can and can't handle at this point, you know, and where they can hook up. Ryan Twyman there. Really getting in, almost gotten up into that wall, but he's kind of trying to fade off a little bit. Man on the move right now is Robert Rader. They're in that 53 Chapman Environmental Services. We've talked about him a bunch, definitely because, you know, he was the champion of last year, but we'll have to see where he decides to go. His Aaron goes ahead and links back up with Caleb Gilbert. Those two guys that were working most of the first half of the race together, and now here they are again. So, to me, I think it's going to be a battle between Caleb Gilbert and Robert Rader. But they do have Kevin Orlando, Berube, who is a new driver here, and his Caleb's brother, Travis, out there in the 341. So, really, Tay McDonald's been doing a great job here so far, but they do start getting collected. Watch out. Oh, no. Oh, no. They're still collecting. No. No. Fike. No. All right. Well, Scott Negus back there, yeah, you can definitely feel his frustration at this point. That'll be another one he got caught up in, but that'll bring out our 4th caution for tonight. And we're going to go ahead and roll that back, kind of see what happened with John Fike there in the 09 Ford. Didn't seem like a bad move was made, but let's see if we can get a better view of what happened here. Let's see. All right, let's try that Goodyear blimp. Let's see what we look like here. I believe that is the 09, so we see 53 of Robert Rader, 48 behind Parker Johnson, dead center in the middle. That'll be him right there, so we'll kind of take a peek and see what happens here. Ooh. If I'm not mistaken, boy, that just kind of kept going and going and going. As you did see, it looked like Scott Negus trying his darndest to get out of there, but just, I mean, even one cut through the infield and still got nailed. But yeah, 9. I believe it was the 88 machine. I'm trying to find Ryan Twyman there. Kind of see what exactly happened and why we ended up at this point. Let's get that drone out there. Yeah, let's get the drone. There you go. All right, drone, do your worst. Boy, oof. Yeah, he's able to drive, but boy, that does not end up working out for some of those other ones. Let's get to Scott Negus. Look, tries so hard to get out of there. Just ends up drifting up. Probably couldn't stop with the hot tires and the grass. So that is going to probably do it for Scott Negus here, which is a real bummer. Real bummer. He ran a great race so far tonight, and I just don't know if these guys have enough repair time to go ahead and get this squared away. But I believe, yep, Kynan Jones still in pit. Ed Ryan, he may still be in pit there as well. Man, what a bummer for some of these guys. But yeah, all right. Well, there's at least one surviving. John Fike survives. Chad Lancaster got caught up in that. Alex Kenton got caught up in that one a little bit. Boy, yeah, and Justice Murphy having to do a lot of repairs to his vehicle. He's been in pit road for over a minute now, so he's got to try to square this one away. Justice Murphy hanging back there in the 28th position right now. But he's getting out. As you can see, the pace car way behind him, so he's got to hurry up. Oh, man, got to hurry up. As he looks like he makes pit exit before the pace car ends up getting there. So that is always good. Well, let's rotate back to our leaders, Kevin Orlando. Really, he you know, and really out there, I believe that was Patience out there calling that 27 machine to win it. 52 laps. I mean, we got 48 to go. You know, it's still some trouble on that one, but let's see. Kynan saying netcode hooked him. Lost both front wheels on the initial big one. I see you out there, Kynan, in the chat now, I think. Yeah, we did see how you broke that, but I thought there was a fast repair here. And, hey, out there in the chat, let me know if you had to use that thing already. 'Cause that was quite a bummer for you. Seeing that 85 machine may have to be put away and taken back to the garage. Boy, that is just nothing but trouble for Kynan there, unfortunately. But we will have to see out there what they can do. But yes, Stellar Stella, we did kind of, we did have kind of a move there. With Robert Rader making a lot of moves out there, getting toward the front, but he is going to start third there for you, Sean Lattin. We'll be happy about that. Kynan, you used the fast repair on lap 7. Yes, that was a tangle up, and I was hoping you didn't have too much damage on that one. But unfortunately, you must have, so that may do it for you here. So, hopefully we will see you next week at Las Vegas. So we're moving all the way across the country to get that one done and get that one squared away. I agree with you. 53 is doing an awesome job out there, but he has a lot more race to go if we have already broken past the halfway point. Kevin Orlando out there in front. Caleb Gilbert, Robert Rader, Parker Johnson, Ted Rekich, Nick Alves, Trevor Earhart. I mean, huge names up here in the top 7. Berube is your new guy here in the 8th position. Travis Gilbert and Tay McDonald. I mean, 9 of those guys are returners from last year, making, you know, really making a name for themselves, getting out front, making this happen. As you can see, look at that. Kevin Orlando, Caleb Gilbert, Robert Rader making that inside lane work as they try to get this one going around. I hope to see Nick Alves stay out of trouble. That 24 machine for the Coastal Financial has got to go ahead and stay clean and keep this one all together. And that reminds me, let's go ahead and have a little chat about Coastal Financial. Provides financial services to individuals and businesses who are looking to improve their current financial position, achieve their financial goals, and protecting their families and businesses. You can find them on coastalfinancial.com and also on Facebook at Coastal Financial. Really excellent to see. Glad they are sponsoring this race here as the Coastal Financial 250, and they're getting ready to go around the track here. But man, this is looks like Ed Ryan may just be too broken getting out of the way. Good move, smart move by that 51 car, and I assure you everyone will appreciate and send him a you know, a virtual pat on the back for that one. But as we get around this track, here we go. Man, I like when those cars kind of speed by like that. As you just get that feel for Daytona here, as Rekich goes ahead and slides toward the middle. Very dangerous, taking that thing 3 wide. I don't know if I would have done that, but he did. And they are definitely working around that 00 car, and he is going to be left stranded there. But let's see if he can get in that aerodynamic bubble behind that 21 of Trevor Earhart there and make it work. Man, yeah, there he goes. And he's trying to get that 21 machine to catch up to that front pack. But look at how much speed and how fast he got up there. Quick little push by Ted Reckich there, pushing Trevor Earhart in the 21 Black Rifle Coffee Machine, getting his way up front. But, man, look at that push. Really starting to leave Tay McDonald out there in the Echo Fasteners, out there stranded. That 73 machine has got to figure out where his buddies are to see if he can get tucked down in there. This is going to be a heck of a job for some of those drivers out there. Wow. All right, and Kynan out there in the chat going ahead and shouting out saying he will be back out there even if it's 9 more minutes. Hopefully you can get that thing fixed enough to where you're not a menace to yourself either, because, man, that was a heck of a hit, especially breaking both those tires off. We did take a look. That left front was inside out. So you are going to need even suspension and steering work for that one. So hopefully you were able to get that 85 machine back out here. But regardless, glad to see you out here and on the track here in the Racing Revolution League. Doing a fantastic job, but here we go. Terry Earhart, 21, looks like he's had a double shot of Black Rifle Coffee. Earhart group pulling for our driver. Yes, that 21 machine is doing some great moves out there here so far tonight. Here in the 6th position. I mean, really putting the moves on, but, man, he's so far staying out of a lot of trouble. I believe he may still have that fast repair. The key is, with this much race to go, we are still looking at pit opportunities. One of these guys could short pit a little bit. Whoa, boy, Parker Johnson gets loose there. All right, yeah, back to what I was saying. And be able to take 2 tires, but really shortchanging yourself on fuel with this 2.5 mile track, that may well be racing suicide at that point. I just don't think that is a good idea. But you see out front, the front 3: Orlando, Gilbert, Raider. 1, 2, 3. So these guys really starting to make their moves, figuring out what they need to do. But you see Caleb Gilbert having some trouble there, getting those pushes by that 53 machine. Got to be careful not to overheat. But these guys are starting to put a good distance on the rest of the field there a little bit. Let's see if we can take a little kind of zoom out here and take a look. Yeah, boy, a lot of these drivers just want to get back up in the field and try to make a good run for this thing. Some of those drivers, they had a good chance, but they, just didn't work out for them. But let's see if we can kind of see. Yeah, Parker Johnson has definitely closed that gap. So as soon as those top 3 started getting a good chance, it's now started to close the gap here. As boy, man, Trevor Earhart's got to be careful with some moves like that. I don't know if that car loosened up on him a little bit, but he is definitely wheeling that car around here. Let's go ahead and take a ride with Trevor Earhart there, as we got to see what he is seeing from inside that car. Try to mark that down there a little bit. Well, blast y'all's eardrums out. There's up here at the right front. All right. Like those wheels on that 341 of Travis Gilbert there, but man, look at that aerodynamics right there. Look at how he just pulls right in. A lot of speed out of these cars, and they're doing a fantastic job getting their way around here tonight. And it's really starting to work out for them. That's good, but Trevor Earhart going ahead, hanging in the 9th position now. But I'm waiting to see if that outside line starts coming around, because it definitely needs to. Ted Reckich starting to get a little loose, and Parker Johnson, really see his life flashing before his eyes as you see that car starting to get a little sideways right next to him. And you don't like doing that, because now I have to lift, and if I have to lift off that gas pedal, that man, it's just not happening. Not happening. I don't want to lift, because now I'm going to start losing pace and give up that room for the 00. So it just goes to show you, the discipline you have to have, and hope that guy next to you, can handle his car just as well as you are there on the bottom. But both those drivers have been a little bit wiggly here so far. Parker Johnson getting a little bit into the apron, and man, Man, Ted Reckett trying to use that door draft, and we saw, and like I said, we took a little peek at that at practice. It does help in a sense, but it's just so dangerous to see if any sort of thing that, iRacing with their fancy net code wants to go ahead and dish out at any random time. But boy, look at that top three. Go ahead and pull away again, as it looks like Reckich and Johnson. Looks like they, it's just starting to end up being a problem. If this is, if this is going to be what we're going to see, and we're kind of seeing this is starting to make a separate, a separation here for, Ted Reckich. Look, they're only off by a tenth, but there they go, battling back up front here, getting their way back on track. So we'll have to see if any of these drivers are going to go ahead and break loose here, but they are definitely giving it a heck of a run. The top three, once again, still able to stay side by side, but side by side now. Ted Reckich, here we go. That outside line is now forming up. So tires settling in, track warming up on that top side, and here they come. So the outside line is forming. Ted Reckich, Tay McDonald, and I believe that is Travis Gilbert. They're in the outside line. They're going to try to make it happen. But really, almost like a track team, the guy at the end of the line has to be the one to push. So if Travis Gilbert goes ahead and starts giving Tay McDonald a push, it's going to start creating that accordion effect and moving Ted Reckich up toward the front. But that outside line, it starts from the guy in the back and then work their way up there in the front. But Ryan Twinham there is right there in the 88. He drops off a little bit, so he's, got to be careful there a little bit. And I just don't know if some of these other drivers want to go ahead and consider changing lanes here. But we'll have to see how that goes. Let's see what you're saying out there, Kynan. But once a couple more cars come in, about 195 miles an hour, fifth for more. All right. Yeah, man, you were saying. Yeah, some of the wrecks are net code. It did look like some of these guys floated down, but boy, watch them diving down now. Here they come. See if I can catch one of them. Boy, Parker Johnson misses pit. He has got to go around. That is going to ruin the 48's night. Oh, no. Parker Johnson going to have to re-continue there and get back on the track. He is going to fall way, way behind. Boy, you can hear it. I don't even want to even cue him in because I'm sure he's probably yelling it at this point. But Parker Johnson in the 48 machine, that is going to drop him back to the 15th position. And you're going to have to give it another shot. It looks like Kynan does survive. It looks like he is back out there on the track, but in front of Kevin Orlando. So, probably Kynan may have to duck out of the way just a little bit to let that 27 get by him. But not too soon. Not too soon. But let's rotate up Tay McDonald. See if these other guys are going to go ahead and come down pit a little later. 65 laps in the bag here at the Coastal Financial 250 Daytona. Always brings great racing and a lot of speed for these drivers out here, and I'm so excited to see what these guys can do. But you see Travis Gilbert here really starting to put on the moves there and trying to get Tay McDonald to speed up. I think 185 is not good enough for him and wants him to continue moving forward here. But 88, a little bit of trouble from that last wreck, so that 88 machine has got to be careful. Ryan Twinham there. All right, good. And see, really, that is good form, is what you want to do, is kind of let off before you get into the turn. Kind of, separate a little bit. And, let the driver kind of drive. You want to push down the straights and give him room on the rest of the turns there. Because if you're pushing in the turns, you got a bad chance of sliding. Slide moves end up causing that front bumper to connect with the rear. And then that's how people end up getting turned. And the last thing you want is, Grant Thorpe here in the 10th position. Peyton Presley here in the 6th. Jeremy Burns finally getting a good run here, up in the 4th. And you don't want somebody getting turned and now ruining the rest of your night and everybody getting all bent up and out of shape and really folding the car all to pieces. But hopefully they are able to go ahead and keep this one collected and back around here. And around they go. It looks like, I believe, Ted Reckich has gone ahead, thrown in the towel. Down pit road he comes. So it looks like he went ahead and slowed down enough for pit road there. So Ted Rekich goes ahead, bows out, and away we go. So we still have Tay McDonald, Travis Gilbert, Ryan Twinham, Jeremy Burns, Peyton Presley, Blake Cook, Michael Bennett, Jacob Sirkovich. Hey, we haven't seen him in a little while. Grant Thorpe, and Alex Kenton, rounding out your top 10 here. So good to see Jacob Sirkovich there in his 18 car. Kind of rolling around the track here, doing pretty well in that Saints car. I have to see what he thinks about Drew Brees going ahead and getting back with New Orleans there. But that is football. Honestly, football's for some people, but me, I'm more about racing. So back on the track we go. Have to see how Grant Thorpe hangs out. You know, he's kind of deviating away from, four-star motorsports. He's staying out there a lot longer. In BDE where he is, in his team, where he will end up and what he chooses to do. But yeah, I see you out there, kind of 40-second penalty. I would assume you probably went speeding in the pit. You either went speeding in the pit or you broke your car, and until you get back out of here, you're dragging the tires around. So kind of back down, but we will have to see pit laps. We got, let's see, Kevin Orlando pit on 64, David Stanfield back on 49, and Tay McDonald last pit on lap 50. All the way back to the 13th position. These guys haven't pit since lap 50. So they are 20 laps on these tanks. So we are getting ready to see the mix up here pretty soon. I would assume we're not getting ready to see it just yet. These guys are going to have to make a quick pit really fast. I would probably... It's hard to say. If it were me, I may take just fuel and back out there, or only right sides and get back out there. Because right now, your track position, right now, Grant Thorpe, we've kind of seen him tumbling way in the back 20-something position, and now he's up here in, in ninth. You kind of don't want to give that away. And you kind of want to retain, because I assure you, these guys are going to start picking up the pace here a little bit. With Kevin Orlando, out there running as fast as he is. And we'll have to see, where these guys, what their last times are. Let's see, as we have it up here, Tay McDonald running 47.6. And I think I saw Ted Rekich running 46 something. Come on, Tigger, float me back around. 47.03. Really, they're almost running the same amount of time there with Kevin Orlando. So really no gain there, but it must just be a fuel strategy at this point. But as we get going back around, everybody coming back down pit road. So here's their chance, as they're all smashing in. So don't believe anybody that we saw is out there. 10th position will go to Kevin Orlando, but it shows him about 37 seconds off. As you can see, he's starting to reel it in now. Here they are in turn 3, so they're going to have to start moving. As you can see, it looks like, all right, it looks like Kevin Orlando, Trevor Earhart, Robert Rader, Caleb Gilbert, Nick Alves, I will assume, are going to be your top 5 once they get around the deal here. But a lot of these guys trying to short pit it here pretty quick and get their way back out there, probably only getting fuel. All right, here they come. As they're getting lined up for some of these drivers, let's go ahead and see if we can get a track map up here at where they end up, and we have a caution. Oh no, we have a caution. And it looks like Travis Gilbert, something may have happened to him in his machine. Let's see if we can find Travis. Alright, and if you give me just a moment, we're going to see if I can find exactly what happened to his vehicle to cause any sort of any reason for a caution. And I believe he did not get involved in it. I think the 88 of Twinham may have been the culprit for some of this. Let's see what happened here. And I hope no one got too messed up here. And let's go ahead and to this caution replay here. And this should be Ryan Twinham here. Let's see. Now remember, he is fresh off of pit. Oh, hits the paint. Oh, not yet. Oh, yep, all on the race surface. Boy, that is not what you want to see. Oh, no. Tay McDonald seems to be the only one who kind of catches that. Hopefully the 18s get a little bit of that black flag waved for that. Something else to keep in mind when you do leave the race surface, or you are on the apron coming off of pit. We'll kind of keep an eye on him as he's rolling here. You will see a blue cone with a line. That is the only time when you can enter the track at that point. There it is, blue cone with the line. So once you see that point right there, you are allowed to then enter the race surface. With him coming off the race surface and then turning around, that is going to cause a little bit of trouble for that machine there. Hopefully Tay McDonald, his night is not over for him. I have to see how it ends up for him. I believe, yes, Tay McDonald is back out there on the track. But he is now 24th, so that is going to be a bummer for him. Man, look at that. Jeremy Burns up here in the front. That 9 car. Last pit on lap 71. So, for his pit strategy and the timing of that caution, made it to where the speed of Kevin Orlando and, all his buddies behind him, this paid off immensely for Jeremy Burns. He could have been marched way back all the way to the somewhere around the 13th position, back to Peyton Presley and Grant Thorpe. But this is going to end up working out for them. As you see a plane coming in, they're a little late for the Daytona race there, but here we go. As we go, let's see if we can get on board with a lot of these drivers, and this is going to be kind of a bummer for some of them. But we are, look at it this way. We are almost 3/4 of the way through this. Only 5 cautions, and I believe one of them is actually the stage caution, so not too shabby. Not too shabby. It is the first run. These guys have been doing a lot of practicing. You just see it's just they're just kind of little. They're just little kind of dumb mistakes at this point. They're not, massive fumbles here. We don't have cars getting all tangled up, but here we are, with Burns up here in the lead. Going ahead and taking the inside line. Looks like Kevin Orlando going to go ahead and assume the outside there with Robert Rader. So the 27 and the 53 are your guys to watch out for. Trevor Earhart, I assume, is going to give that 9 car one heck of a push here to make sure that bottom line can command here at the beginning. A lot of things to look at. We got multiple things. Look how the track temperature has decreased. We started at 122. We checked it again. And I believe we were at 113, 116, and now we're down to 107. So these drivers are definitely starting to see this is starting to get, a lot more different. It's no longer sunny. We're back cloudy, and we're now starting to pick up the wind. So it's not just, other drivers and where your position is, but now it's going to determine what you see, what you feel. It's now changing the aspects of how the car feels. We still run the engine temperature, or the air temperature, which is now, still affecting the engine the same. But now tires. Is now with these cooler temperatures, it may help the tires last a little longer, but man, it's going to take so much longer for them to get heated up and start working. So it's going to be trouble for Kevin Orlando and Robert Rader to get these cars to start hooking up and getting enough speed out of these cars to get hooked around here. But we'll have to see if any of these other drivers are able to survive and make it back out here. But boy, this is exciting. You see Jeremy Burns, I haven't seen him here in this league, is going to go ahead and take us away here on a green flag restart. Here they come. All right, as they get away. So a lot of moving parts here. So we're going to have to see how Kevin Orlando and Robert Rader handle that outside line. You know, they have raced with Trevor Earhart, Caleb there on the bottom, Nick Alves, stay out of trouble, Alves, 24, you know, and be able to go ahead and get that outside line working, and they do. Here they come on the outside. 27, 53, and the 24, but Nick Alves starting to get hung out to dry, but Robert Rader taking that cut toward the inside, making that block there on Jeremy Burns. So that number 9 car gets jammed. Nick Alves, unfortunately, ditched toward the outside. But check the man from the ashes. Parker Johnson missed pit, and here he is in the 4th position. So once again, good timing by the caution there for Parker Johnson to return and get back here in the 4th position. So away they go. So really, top 5, Kevin Orlando, Robert Rader, Nick Alves, Parker Johnson, Jeremy Burns hanging out there in the 5th position, still trying to get it going. But Parker Johnson making a gutsy move, trying to wedge his 48 Delta Chevrolet there toward the inside, and still Nick Alves hung there toward the outside. Really, that you know, when you have teammates on the 4-Star Motorsports and you leave them hanging out there, you kind of feel bad for them. You know, you don't want Nick Alves to make a nasty move and you know, make that cut that's unnecessary. But, man, you hate to kind of get left hanging out to dry there on the outside line. But Robert Rader making a great move. Oh, boy. Parker Johnson good about keeping that car in control. But they are definitely starting to feel how these track conditions are not tacking up just yet, as it now starts to separate the field. Wow, we got almost half a second on the guys from Burns dropping off. I think Burns definitely started stabbing that brake there a little bit to get away. Nervous about getting caught up, and I don't blame him not one bit, trying to stay out of trouble for that one. But Trevor Earhart having a battle there, you know, with Travis Gilbert and the 341. His Chevrolet there on the bottom, definitely having to do some work there. Seeing if they can get around here. We got 23 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, as we get going. Boy, this is starting to really stack up to be something. Does Robert Rader have it in him? Is he just setting up Kevin Orlando? But I would assume, from this standpoint, that these guys are going to have to make another green flag pit stop. And if that is the case, some of these other guys who have pit, you know, back here on lap 73, like Ted Wreckage, Robert Rader. Okay, Robert Rader, Kevin Orlando, Nick Alves, these guys pit on lap 64. You know, they're not going to make it on fuel. There's no way. They're not going to make it on fuel. But somebody who are definitely possibly, like Trevor Earhart, he pit on lap 73. So, I would definitely think everybody still has a pit stop in them. I think they're not going to make it on fuel, and if they do, that's because somebody's going to pick them up and put them on the roof and drag them to the end. But I just don't see these guys not having to make another stop, and I would definitely think that is when Robert Rader is going to strike, is going ahead and sticking around, going ahead and keeping his car out front here. But really, Robert Rader doing a fantastic job there in that 53 Chapman Environmental Services car. And getting around here, boy, that 53 is just on a tear here tonight. Man, boy, you can see it looks like Nick Alves went ahead and got his way down to that bottom line there. Fortunately, he's feeling a lot safer there behind his buddies, but here we go. That top line working its way around again. Travis Gilbert getting a lot of speed using that door draft. Very gutsy move, and let's see if we can get that 09. John Fike, no trouble out of him. Let's go ahead and see if he can give this thing another run around the around Daytona here, man. That's the thing. Daytona's so different. The old legacy track here at Daytona was so bumpy. So bumpy. The cars would almost bottom out trying to get around here. And with the kind of ground clearance you get out of these next gens, that's not what you want to have. You want to have that security of a good, solid car running around here. Boy. As I say that, we're looking at Adam Bowden there in the 83. Is starting to loosen up real bad there. Bowden's got to be careful. He's got to hold that car all in one piece as he's having a heck of a time there on that outside line. It just seems that car is loosening up, and seeing he's lost all that aerodynamics from the car in front of him since everybody kind of left him there. He's it almost looks like he's trying to let Brandon Richardson go around him so he can follow. But it's just not working out. Richardson kind of leaving him there. If Bowden may have to drop to that bottom line. Let's go ahead and save that thing. But man, good to see him out there representing all of our sponsors out there with Ultimate Siding and Gutters, Chapman Environmental Services, Simtrax Broadcasting, gotta love it. And Butt Kicker, the ever so famous Butt Kicker. You've got to get one of those if you on your sim rig. I assure you, it will definitely change the way you drive. But away we go. Ted Reckich reassuming the lead there on that outside line. But look at Bowden. Well, I'm kind of staying on him because he is in that aerodynamic bubble, and I'm not 100% sure he knows what to do with it. He is getting so much speed out of that car right now that he has nowhere to go with it. Wow, he is getting a whole lot of speed out of that 83 machine, and I just don't know if he's expecting. Let's see if he gets that thing up over 190, because you see how he kind of hangs toward the outside, gets that fresh air? Yeah, now would be a good time to cut toward the inside and really take the wind out from underneath Travis Gilbert, who is leading the race here, but no, he decides not to, and look like Richardson may go ahead and side back with Adam Bowden, who has now assumed the lead and going ahead and taking a commanding lead out in front. So away he goes. Excellent job, Adam Bowden. Look at him going ahead and getting out in front. As we can see, look at the rest of the field kind of chasing him. As we get that cool drone footage here, looking back at the field. Boy, yeah, and you just see a bunch of hungry drivers looking at that Chevrolet saying, nope, that spot's mine, buddy. But yeah, whoa, boy, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful as he gets riding around there. But you kind of see everybody's starting to stack up. 17 to go. So I would say all those pleasantries, all those niceties, everybody trying to be nice and careful. The gloves are off now. We're going to get to about 15 to go, and I think these guys are going to start trading paint. It's no longer we're being nice and everything like that, but here we go. I believe Robert Rader's gone ahead and bringing it down pit road as well. Robert Rader bringing it down pit road. All right, so we got a lot of drivers down pit. So Robert Rader, Kevin Orlando, Nick Alves, Parker Johnson, Caleb Gilbert, and Trevor Earhart have come down pit. We're going to hang out here with the leaders right now, and we'll see how those other guys fare, because they were out there almost 6 to 7 laps longer than everybody else. And yes, Stella, I do. That is the Simtrax car. That's why I like calling it. As has our huge logo across the left side of that, the left and right side of those quarter panels. Man, I like seeing that. We're going to go ahead and see if we can sweet talk our producer to take a little peek at that. Oh, man, it only gets a little bit of that left side there, but that's okay. That's okay. We got him rolling around there, Bowden dialing it back to the 8th position. I will admit, it's hard staying up front. And somebody who would know that, no offense, David Stanfield. We did see him get tangled up there in a couple wrecks. He did look like he was trying to get up there in the lead, and it just unfortunately didn't work out for that 31 machine. So David Stanfield and his 31 Ford now charging back forward, doing fantastic. Fantastic. And that's the thing I like about this league, is you know, these guys just, you don't see a lot of cautions, but it's tangle-ups. One here, one there, one here, one there, and it's now the guys that you kind of thought were out of the race have now returned, and they're now back up here in the front. Daryl Johnson in his 8 Chevrolet, they're in the 3rd position, and Daryl's just got to be careful. You know, I think he knows. I think he knows he had a little trouble with the aerodynamics the first run, but you know, now is his time to shine and kind of redeem himself from the little tangle up that kind of ended up last time. Tate McDonald spending a lot of time up here in the front. Good to see that 73 Ford, and you know, he's just, you see the field's kind of separating itself. Everybody's kind of up here in the front, and then after that, then you've got starting, I believe, with Grant Thorpe as your second pile. And these guys are back here dicing it up there a little bit. Shane Loveridge, our only Austin, still on the track. He's still out there in his 72 Chevrolet in that purple car. And I believe, yes, the entire front pack went ahead and pit. So let's see. We got Travis Gilbert, Brandon Richardson, David Stanfield, Jeremy Burns, Adam Bowden, Chad Lancaster, and Daryl Johnson. Of course, Tate McDonald. So Ted Reckich now has assumed the lead. Grant Thorpe is there. But man, look at Ted Reckich. Ted Reckich pit on lap 73 as well. And we'll have to see if he makes it with fuel. As you can see, his car slows up a lot. Ted Reckich slows up a lot. And we'll see kind of his speed here Okay, he's maintaining. I think he probably needs to pit, and he may be bowing out, trying to get out of the way. I don't know what happened there. Either that or there's just the amount of speed from this pile here as they get going around. Stellar Stella right there, 89 machine. So you do see him getting around the track here. Looking good there. All right, let's take a look at Ted Wreckage, see what he sees off the nose of his car. Mr. Bushy. Twitch TV. Don't forget, and obviously he's trying to shout out for his Twitch deal there. Go check him out, but come back here, please. As we see Ted Wreckage trying to make the best of what he's been given here. Grant Thorpe hanging out in the lead as well, doing awesome. You know, I'm really excited to see Grant Thorpe going ahead and resuming back into the lead. I've seen him win a few races last year, but you know, it's really this is his time to shine. He's got 11 laps to go, and he's got to get this done. But man, these other guys, these other drivers here in the back, Robert Rader hanging in the 11th position right now. Ones who haven't pit, all top 10 have not pit since lap 73. Which would leave Robert Rader in the lead if the top 10 still have to pit at the end. There we go. There's Kynan still trying to turn a few more laps. Good job by him. Staying out of the way, but still making a good run and going ahead and getting some laps completed. Good job there, Kynan. All right, so Grant Thorpe. But as I was saying, top 10 has yet to pit yet. They have to. There's no way these cars are going to make it 27 laps. I mean, it's going to be such a far stretch for them to make it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let's go ahead and out there to the chat. Sean Ladden, Stellar Stella, Kynan, you know, you guys out there in the chat. I know Kynan's racing, but, you know, tell me, you think the top 10 have to pit? Or, you know, or they have to come back in? Or you know, you think Grant Thorpe is going to go ahead and be able to drive this thing all the way to the end? I'll be watching out there, but man, Jacob Sirkovich, 203 miles an hour out there. He is flying out there right now, so definitely a fast car to watch as we see them getting around here. Whew. Boy, I think some of these guys, Ted Wreckage bringing it in pit. All right, there's one down. So, Ted Wreckage isn't going to make it, but Grant Thorpe still out front there. You know, may have to hang behind some of these lapped cars he's getting around and try to use them to save a little fuel. But Grant Thorpe hanging out front. Yes, he has plenty of fresh air, but is not helping for the draft effect that he desperately needs. And I believe Robert Rader is trying his best to get going here to get around Ted Wreckage, who may have short pit already. We'll kind of see how this stacks up here. Robert Rader leading. Let's see. Looks like he gets around the 9, and Ted Wreckage, that's the guy he's got to find. Right there. All right, so Ted Wreckage doing everything he can, holding this thing to the floor, getting out front, but he short pit. He pit just enough where it looks like Robert Rader has enough speed to go ahead and get walked around him. So that is going to do it for Wreckage. Wreckage is going to dial way back now. Way back. He's now back in the 19th position. But that does still means that Robert Rader has to make it to the end. And get this thing squared away. But we'll have to see. Grant Thorpe still hanging out there. Oh. All right, they're all pitting. Here they come. Here they come. All right, all top 9 drivers, which means Robert Rader will assume the lead once we get going here. But we're going to go ahead. Let's pop up that track map I don't get to use very often. Now let's go ahead and see where he is. Oh boy, Grant Thorpe kind of misses his pit box. What in the world is happening to his car? That is going to... Oh, man. Yeah, that looks like a bit of an iRacing deal for him. All right, let's get back to Robert Rader here and see how far away he is. Because he's got to make this move here pretty soon. Here he is on the front stretch. All right, so we are watching that 53 machine. You kind of see the track map here. As he passes the 39 of Scott Negus there on the bottom. That'll be the first clump. And then he's got to get caught up to Shane Loveridge, who is in the 72, Peyton Presley in the 7, and David Buell in the 52. So he's got to pick up the pace. Here it comes. As they get ready to go, Tay McDonald, there's the 7. Oh, man, it doesn't look like he's going to catch that front pack just yet. But Shane Loveridge is out there by himself without the draft. Robert Rader will now take the lead here as he goes ahead and slides around. Boy, look at all his buddies working with him. 7 laps to go, and this is the run. Man, what a great view we have here from that Goodyear blimp. Holy cow, this is going to work out perfectly as you see Loveridge dialing out of the top 10 there, and back he goes. 12th position, I think, is where he's landed so far. But still, great try by him. Let's go ahead and get back down to the race surface. Here we go. Robert Rader out in front, 6 to go here at the Coastal Financial 250. Man, what a season opener this is. I appreciate you guys joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. Once again, you know, this has been absolute blast. You guys join in here with me. Boy, I couldn't ask for more to have you guys here. But don't forget, join me up there at the top. Look at it, simtraxbroadcasting.com. I've got at least three platforms you guys can see me. I believe I have a Twitter, and I think I'm making TikToks as well, but we'll go ahead and leave that to my social media manager, my sweet wife that knows how to do all that happy stuff. I just work the cameras and call the races. But go ahead and find us out there, and here we go. So we are 5 to go. Robert Rader up here in the lead. Man, this is a blast, and he's going to have so much to so much to talk about up here in a podium finish with Sean Lattin. Here we go. He is up in the lead, as you called it, doing the man, really making it happen. But we'll go ahead and give a shout out since that environmental services car is up there in the front. Chapman Environmental Services, proudly offering broad spectrum regulatory compliance, permitting, field sampling services, and more. Visit ChapmanES.com. And I asked him if they are to a certain region. He said no. He said they are all over the country. So if you got any sort of needs or anything like that, man, they can help you out and go ahead and get that squared away. But here we go. Something else to keep in mind, watch out for is some lap traffic he may run into. He's just trying to keep out of that way. Scott Negus doing a good job staying up toward the top of the track, but that is going to jam that top line real quick. Oh no. Oh, Scott Negus, hold on. All right. Woo. As that top line boy tries to make it work. But they go ahead and get it worked around. Tay McDonald getting a little frustrated with Kevin Orlando there. You can see that 73 Ford wants to start pushing him around, but it is just not working out for him. 3 to go. And this is going to be all over, but it looks like Ted Rekich is about to get turned around. Kevin Orlando gets loose, and here we go. The last triangle up for the race. Oh, boy. Tay McDonald, that may do it for his night. That may do it. Brandon Richardson tangled up. Buell tangled up. McDonald tangled up. Yeah, I think, all right, well, that's going to start for an interesting restart. And this is going to really, from our perspective and the way I would look at this is going to be an interesting tie-up because, and I'll tell you why, because now you don't know where Robert Rader is to start. The outside line's starting to work, but the inside line isn't, and you're kind of back and forth. So we'll have to see what Robert Rader does. First, let's try to take a look here at Kevin Orlando. Gets a good run here. Boy, and that car just starts loosening up on him. Good move there by the 21 to hold it. Boy. Yeah, let's get back to that 27 here. And kind of see what transpired to this, man. This kind of bites for a lot of these drivers here. Getting tangled up. Alright, looks like he collects the 29 to Brandon Richardson. I believe that's probably Ed Ryan behind him. Tay McDonald in the air. Off the track. Boy. Yeah, and then Kevin Orlando kind of gives an extra little shot there to Richardson, turning him the rest of the way. Hopefully Richardson is able to keep it off the wall there. Where are you, Richardson? There you are. Yep. Good thing that breakaway wall kind of makes that break there and ends it for them. So, boy, that's going to kind of switch it up here a little bit for some of these drivers here. We'll have to see how this plays out for some of them. Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate for a lot of these drivers. I would like to see it kind of get back the way it's supposed to be here. But we'll have to make it happen, you know? Just gotta make the best of it. It can get worse. It can get worse, but we'll have to see. Richardson there down pit. Look like Kynan is now touched back in pit again. He's working his way back out. All right. So, man of the hour, Robert Rader in that 53 machine. And we'll have to see what he can do. And which lane he decides to pick. Nick Alves will be on either side of him. And Robert Rader will have Parker Johnson to push. Caleb Gilbert and the 40 machine has been doing a lot of pushing here tonight, especially with Robert Rader, but he'll actually be lining up caddy corner Tim wherever Robert Rader decides to go. But we'll have to see how this works out. Let's watch these guys here. We'll kind of take a peek. If they have to pit again, I would sure hope not. Okay. Oh, man. See, and that's called thinking outside the box. So what you end up doing is you can see Robert Rader here, dropping down on the apron there, cutting less of the track, and him taking less of the track here, trying to save that a little bit more fuel, as you just don't know how long it's going to go. And Robert Rader, yeah, he's definitely, he's definitely playing a fuel game at this point. Trying to think about how he can save just enough to get to the end here. Just trying to take a peek. I do not see a fuel gauge that we can see for him, but it is going to be it's going to be close. It's going to be close. If another caution comes out, it's going to put a nail in the coffin. I just don't know if these guys have enough fuel. I'm excited to see what they have to say. The top three here, what they have to say. And, and really what they can get this done. Man, this is gonna be a battle. Look at that, Robert Rader taking the outside lane. All right, Sean Lattin, what do you think? Good move? Because this could be how he determines the race. So. Interesting to see. Caleb Gilbert is actually going to be pushing. All right. All right, well, place your bets because here we go. We got 3 to go. Pace car will be ducking on off here, and we will hopefully, I believe, probably have our last restart of the race. Robert Rader, green flag. Here we go. Great start by the 53. Gets a little loose there. Got to be careful. Caleb Gilbert wasn't able to get that good of a restart either. So now it's the game. Now it is the game. So now Robert Rader is going to have to play the blocking game there on Nick Alves. I'm sure Nick Alves will be happy about that, but boy, it looks like the 40. These guys are getting all turned around again. I'm trying to keep up with them as the whole field is getting stacked up. All right, Blimp, where are you at? There you are. Man, that is, what in the world happened? As that'll bring out another caution. That will bring out another caution. So let's go ahead and figure out what happened here. Kind of how this unfolded. This is a bummer, man. This is a bummer for a lot of these drivers. You know, you make it all this way, and then something happens. But we are going to let you guys determine. I would probably be saying John Fike. Maybe eyeballs on him. It is getting a little cloudy, so I'm trying the best that I can to get us a good shot. 40, you know him. Caleb Gilbert up top. Fike down below. Let's take a peek and see what happens here. Whoa. Yeah. Fike kind of rolls up into him there. So the Gilberts, both of them get it. 18 eats it. Oh, boy. Yeah, and you know, you like Grant Thorpe, you got to be thinking, man, what do I do? It looks like Peyton Presley went ahead and snuck by. All right, because Rekish looks like he's doing his darndest to stay alive. And that 0-0. But it looks like Ted Rekish, yeah, ricochets off the 4. And yeah, definitely sends it straight into the wall. Yeah, and just the carnage continues. Wow, that is going to be a bummer for some of these drivers here. Let's go ahead and let me see. Let's find Peyton. Peyton Presley. Let's take a ride along with Peyton. Let's take a ride. I like this. This feels like a Code Brown moment. Let's see what we have here. Let's go. Oh, man. That was a close one. That was definitely a close one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be, I believe, another green-white checkered start. So they are going to line them up again and give it another run and see how we can get this back underway. Well, I'm probably going to bring up something that not sure you're going to like out there, Sean Ladden. Let's see. Robert Rader's in the 9th position. I believe Robert Rader ran out of fuel. I don't think he had enough gas to make it. So, yeah, Fike getting turned around there may have just kind of thrown this for that 53 machine. But Robert Rader still has a good chance to see if he can put on a good show. But look at the guys in front of him the same way. So they are easily running out of fuel as well. But Kevin Orlando, look at that, battling from that last wreck that ended up happening there in the 4th position. So he was able to survive. Pace car lights are still on. But we are going to go ahead, and I'm going to cut to a quick commercial real quick, and we will be right back.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
Alrighty, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely excited to see how this one kind of wraps up here. Nick Alves, Parker Johnson, Trevor Earhart, and Kevin Orlando with Brandon Richardson kind of rounded out your top 5 here. Chad Lancaster, newcomer, David Buell there in his 52 Chevrolet. Scott Negus, man, look at that 39, going ahead and placing 8th. And Robert Rader, I believe, yep, top 10. But we'll have to see how he can fare with this. Assuming he had to come down for fuel, he may have stopped and gotten tires. Maybe you got 50-50 shot if those are going to do it. But Sean, don't count him out yet. We got 3 to go. Green flag. So here they go. Robert Rader has been making a lot of moves right now, but the man on the move, Nick Alves. So he keeps getting in a really crappy position all the time. But right now, leading the race, he's got to be happy about that, getting out there in front. So he is going to get a shot from Trevor Earhart there. I believe we had a listener out there looking for him, and we are hoping he can go ahead and stay out there. Here we go. Man, look at that Nick Alves. Guys dicing up there in the back. They are not going to do a green-white checkered after this. There are only 2. As Trevor Earhart doing the pushing. Something fierce there in that 21 machine. Nick Alves having to make it happen. But Robert Rader up in the 6th position there on the outside line trying to work with Richardson. Richardson's either got to move or get out of the way. Robert Rader once in there. Scott Negus turned around with Caleb. So here they go. Robert Rader in a really bad position. As the final lap, we have white flag out. What happens at this point. They are going to start connecting. Oh boy. They go kind of collecting each other. We got cars getting absolutely destroyed. So here we go. Man, Nick Alves, Trevor Earhart, Kevin Orlando really in your top 3 starting to single out. I think Robert Rader has run out of real estate at this point. But holy cow, there we go. Robert Rader, huge shove to the back of David Buell there in the 52 machine. So does he have enough, as it looks like Trevor Earhart is trying to make something of it, working his way through. Brandon Richardson toward the outside, taking it 3 wide. We are white flag. Watch out. Here they come. As the fold up, Robert Rader has a chance. Here he comes. Robert Rader in 3rd. Oh no. Look at that. He makes it. Robert Rader makes it into 3rd position. Sean Lattin, if you were praying, he made it. Holy cow. Chapman Environmental Services will be proud at this point. Trevor Earhart goes ahead and pulls out the win. Caleb Gilbert with a quality 2nd place, and Robert Rader in 3rd. Holy cow. What a great way to have a first season race. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to tune in here to Simtrax Broadcasting and watch this, because if this is what these guys put on for this upcoming season, this is going to be the most amazing one yet. This is insane. Trevor Earhart, fry the tires off if you got any fuel left. Holy cow. He just barely made it on that one. Here you go, bud. Wow, make it happen. Excellent job there by Trevor Earhart going ahead and taking this one away here tonight. Holy cow. Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. Wow. I am beside myself. These guys all hammered away and got through it. That was crazy. That was absolutely insane. Alrighty. Wow, that really worked out well for definitely one driver, the 53 machine of Robert Rader. Boy, that could not have worked out any better for him on that one. Man. We're seeing if we can get Robert Rader in here. There you are, Robert Rader. Man, I tried to get a hold of you earlier this race, and it just would not happen. Dude, all right. Sean Lattin has got to be jumping through the ceiling at this point. I'm sure you ran out of fuel, and you had to pit, didn't you?
I didn't have a choice. I had enough to finish under green there, obviously. And then I had enough for 1 green-white checkered, barely, and then had no chance on 2, unfortunately. So, I mean, that's just kind of the situation we were in with the pit strategy that we were working with the team. You know, 4-Star Industries put a lot of work into the strategy today, and it showed, I think, because we were untouchable out there, I feel like. And, Yeah, somebody had to lead that pack and put themselves in that situation, and I was already there. So, Trevor's not with the team, but he was working with us today. So I'm glad that somebody with us ended up getting the win. I guess I finished third. I'm not really sure how. It was crazy, but it sucks I had to pit, man.
Well, regardless, you were ninth place, and you worked your way up to sixth after, and then the white flag came out. And once the white flag came out, I mean, it didn't matter anymore. It was on after that. That was the last green-white checkered. And then just the insane pileup. And it was the thing is, what made you go to the outside line first? I mean, was that line working at the beginning?
When are you referring to going to the outside line first?
Well, yeah, when
last
you ended up in
restart?
sixth place, you swung to the outside line and then came back down, and then the pileup went upwards, and you snuck underneath for third.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out where the momentum was at. So, I wanted to stay bottom because my teammates were in the bottom, and wanted to keep some momentum there. But I knew I wanted to get to the outside at some point, whenever there was going to be a big checkup. So I swung out to the outside, and then there wasn't enough there. So I got back in line, knowing that we'd have another opportunity at some point. And then got out there, and I don't know. It's just some of it's luck, some of it's just a lot of experience and knowing where to put the car. It really ultimately I just feel terrible for Nick because I felt like he had the race won, and we were pushing hard, and I think me getting into Buell caused him to get up into Richardson, which then came down and got Nick. So I don't know. The race might have been over by then. I don't know, but feel terrible for Nick. But glad that we had a lot of four-star Industries cars end up at the top of the pylon here.
Man, and really, what a play out that will be, and that was, man, and really, this is a heck of a run. I thought you didn't have a chance, but you brought it back and you saved it, and here you are. So, man, that comes away with a third place finish. Not too shabby, but we are looking at Las Vegas next week. 134 laps there, man. How you feeling? What you think?
Feels good. We ran a couple of practice races, recruitment races on the off season there, and it was a good time. It should be a pretty racy track. Restarts are going to be crazy with all the dirty air and cold tires, but it's one of those tracks where on the long run you can have a lot of comers and goers. So I think it'll be exciting, and I think it's a daytime race as well, so it should be nice and hot and slick out there.
Oh yeah, nice and hot compared to Martinsville, which will be nighttime, which is after that, and that one's going to be a disgusting track because that's going to be super cold and slick. So definitely a tumble up there. But man, go ahead and give me those shout-outs. Third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, obviously got to give a shout out to Chapman Environmental Services for sponsoring the car and the league. Butt Kicker, they got an awesome product, and they sponsor the league as well. So big shout out to Butt Kicker. They have Ultimate Siding and Gutters that are with us this year as well. David Buell actually running their paint scheme tonight. So really nice to see him get a good finish, repping them. And other than that, just family friends. Sean, sorry I didn't get it done. I've tried. So always next week.
Hey, it was worth a shot, man. Super job. I mean, you had so much to overcome. I mean, I saw you riding that low line, and we were all figuring, yeah, I know what he's doing. We're trying to save as much fuel as absolutely possible because you're running out. But, regardless, I mean, still, third place. I mean, that was from ninth to third. I mean, you picked up 6 spots in 2 laps. So that was a heck of a job there. And, man, I hope to see you next week there, bud, and get it done.
I hope so too, Patrick. Appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Sim Tracks. Brand new operation here, but a lot of experience, and it shows. You do a great job.
All right. Awesome, man. Appreciate that shout out. Can't wait to talk to you later, bud.
See ya.
Man, there he is. Robert Rader, always up here in the booth. And that was absolutely amazing. Now, I want to talk to one of the largest pushers of the race. Let's go ahead and see the largest pusher of the race. Caleb Gilbert in that 40 Ford car tonight. Man, really, Caleb, you got a copy on us here, bud?
I got you.
Man, talk to me here. That last pile, you've been pushing a lot this race, and I believe I saw you during practice, and you kind of find that sweet area where you're not blowing up the engine. Was it kind of the same tonight?
Yeah, today was a little bit. Well, I don't think it was actually technically hotter, but for whatever reason, they were getting hot a little bit sooner. So we had to manage that a little bit. Um, all week felt really confident. Figured out the car, what its limits are. Um, it's a little inconsistent, so I took it a little more easy in the race today. But I really worked on being the second car in line, being able to push all the way around the track without hooking anybody. I really like the next gen and the way it pushes. We had a great plan today, executed it well, and we ended up second.
Yeah, not too bad. The air temperature didn't change much, but man, track temperature almost dropped off by 20 degrees. So that was definitely difficult out there for you, I would assume. I mean, did it go as planned, or I know you were aiming for the win, but you were pushing Robert Rader a lot. You pushed Nick Alves. You pushed Trevor Earhart. It was the kind of the. Was your plan to be pushing as much as you were, or were you trying? I mean, really trying to run and gun for the win here?
Yeah, the plan, at least in the first 95 laps, is to be up front because I don't want to be back there in the mess. Who's most confident in pushing. There was a couple situations where one person says I don't want to push, so then you next man up. It's just kind of the way it worked out. Of course, I wanted to win at the end, but I didn't want to wreck anybody for it. Of course, made that mistake before. Usually doesn't work out. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to wreck anybody, and I actually did end up getting wrecked. Before that last caution, I went back to 13th. I got lucky enough that everybody left the high line open. I think the 29 went up there. I pushed him all the way up to the front, and then, of course, they wrecked. And I almost had a chance. If Trevor hadn't thrown that block, maybe I get there.
Yeah, that was definitely tough by a lot of those drivers there up front. But man, you were really up front most of the night, and it seems your pit strategies were working. Were tires any sort of an issue here tonight?
The tire wear, it doesn't say it. Of course, when you go to check the temperatures and whatnot. But after about 25 laps or so on a set, the left sides really don't matter, but the right side you definitely felt loose off, especially when you're pushing mid corner. I'd want to ride up the track a little bit, and then once you finally caught it, you would get loose. So with the pit strategy we had every 20 laps, pit before everybody else did. Putting on right side tires with the one lug nut, it's about the same as what it is to put gas. So they did matter. Not as much as um, most tracks, obviously, but they do matter after about 25 laps.
Oh man, and really, it was tough to see. You being able to get through that fight there, but still second place, and that seems to be where you were most of the race. But man, fantastic job up there with that 40 Ford. I'm gonna get that down, the 40 Ford.
I know that's a tough one. That's a tongue twister.
Well, Caleb Gilbert in the 44 did a little bit better there. Travis Gilbert kind of landed there in the 17th position. Hopefully a little better next time around. But really, dude, awesome race here tonight. And we're looking to Las Vegas next week. I mean, really, walk me through kind of your strategy. I mean, is it practice, practice, practice? Or is it shoot from the hip and see how well we do?
It's going to be a lot of practice. First step always is to get the hot lap down. You want to qualify well, especially with how big our field is now. You don't want to be in the back. You just get caught up. So many bad things can go wrong. So that's step one. And then once we figure that, the best lap we can get out, then we work on our 20 lap, 30 lap intervals, so on and so forth. But I'm a mile and a half guy, so I'm excited.
All right, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get started on that practicing with your second place finish here tonight, bud. So go ahead and give me those shout outs, man, for all those people out here watching you.
I would like to thank my teammates. First off, Nick, Robert, and Kevin. And then, of course, we're working with Trevor and Parker a little bit. So shout out to those guys for keeping it clean. Thanks for Chapman Environmental for sponsoring everything. And then thank you, Patrick, for doing this for us. We really appreciate it, and you're the best, man.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it, bud. No problem. I mean, if you guys race like this every race of the year, this will be not a problem. You guys are a piece of cake. I mean, the wrecks, they're substantiated, and the racing is amazing. Now, I'm so glad you came out here tonight, bud, and I'm excited to see what you can do next week.
I appreciate it. You have a good one, all right?
All right, thanks, Caleb.
Yes.
All right, and that's Caleb Gilbert in that 40 machine, and really what a blast he had tonight. You just saw him just pushing so much, around and around and around, being able to get through the pile here. But really, Trevor Earhart, he came from behind. He was able to, go ahead and seal this one away. And I want to make sure we get plenty of time to talk with him as we get going around here. You know, there was just such a struggle, especially hanging behind Nick Alves here. You know, really, what can he do and what can he not do at this point? But we are getting here with Trevor Earhart, and let's go ahead and get Trevor pulled down in here. Trevor Earhart in the 21 Chevrolet Black Rifle Coffee Machine. You got a copy on us here, bud?
I do.
Man, you take the win of the Coastal Financial 250. How's it feel?
It feels great. I don't know what to say. I'm still kind of shaking right now because that was wild.
Yeah, that was definitely insane. Even up here from the booth, what you guys, you know, your maneuvers, staying behind Nick Alves, kind of placing and picking your points of when to go. I wasn't sure if you got into Brandon Richardson there, and then, you know, it loosened him up a little bit, but back there on the replay, it looks like he collected, and then it did look like some net code that did cause that last pile up there. But regardless, I don't want to tarnish anything for your win here tonight. Really, what was the secret? You kind of hung back there in that, you know, 12th, 13th position, and here you are up here in the front with a race win.
Yeah, you know, got caught up in that early wreck. Had to use my quick repair, and then just tried to be patient all night. I got to give a great big shout out to Rob, Kevin, Nick, and Caleb and their team for working with me and Parker tonight, since we were down at teammates. So a huge shout out to those guys for being, you know, great competitors and letting us be a part of their team tonight. And, you know, as a group, we just worked together. We had a really good pit strategy there. But you know, at the end of the race, it just comes down to making the move at the right time. And kind of the same situation I was in last week with Kevin in front of me with Nick there. And Kevin jumped up to the outside. He gave me a big shove, and I was able to side draft Nick coming, you know, into 3 and 4. And honestly, didn't think I was going to have enough momentum to keep it there. But coming out of 4, we were still side by side, and I saw that third lane coming. And I mean, you got to do what you got to do on the last lap. You got to throw that block. And I got up there just in time that I didn't get hooked by Richardson, and, you know, caused a little bit of calamity. And then Caleb still had a huge run to the outside, so I just threw it back up there and threw another block. Don't think he would have got there in time, but just wanted to essentially just wanted to make sure. But it was a great night overall. Just, man, I so stoked. I've had such horrible luck here at restrictor plate races, and it's just nice to start off the new season with a win. And you know, God, it feels good.
Man, I don't know if I can agree with you at that point. You did start second here tonight.
Yeah, you know, getting the win in the duels, really having that track position early on was big. Not being back there in the chaos and being able to kind of control the race, especially with us, you know, working together. But man, I shout out to everybody in the league. I mean, that was a great race. Long green flag runs, and you know, when you get down to those late race situations, you know it's going to get chaotic. So you know, just great race overall, and happy that we survived and walked out of here with a win.
Man, and not walking out of there with just a win. You get a little green for your pocket, man. The Daytona race, you won $20 for taking away the win here today. So that's also got to kind of pep you up for the next race, which is Las Vegas, that's coming up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna be gone next week. I'm actually going on vacation, so I'm gonna miss Vegas. But you know, this race does lock me into the playoffs, so that's a huge stress relief there as well. But you know, hopefully my teammates Parker Johnson and Loveland can go out and put on a good show for Tire Slayer Racing next week while I'm out of town, and yeah, hopefully the racing's just as good next week as it was here tonight.
Oh man, well, don't spend those $20 all in one place, man. You know, maybe spend it on more of that Black Rifle coffee that you do sponsor on the side of that car there, man. But really, what a battle it was here tonight, and you did really a fantastic job. And I'm just trying to find parts of your race where it wasn't, you know, picture perfect at this point. You know, I think you would have liked to have been hanging around that top 5 most of the night, but it still worked out perfectly. I mean, you know, Nick Alves almost thought he had the win here, but that slide move toward that outside lane to cut there in front of Kevin Orlando, which we're actually putting on the replay right here, you know, actually worked out perfectly to your advantage.
Yeah, it's all about timing, and especially with these cars at this racetrack, the momentum and just timed it right. And you know, Nick, I don't think that inside line got a good enough push to Nick, and hate to see it for Nick. I mean, he ran a good race all night long, and I hate to see him get caught up in something like that on the, you know, especially being side by side for the lead coming out of turn 4, but unfortunately, it's just part of it, and survival. I mean, at the last lap, it's all about survival, and we're gonna take it, and we're gonna go celebrate and celebrate as a team tonight, and we're gonna enjoy this one.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you will be missing the Smart Wave Solar 200 at Las Vegas, 134 laps. You're opting out of, but will I see you for Martinsville?
Oh yeah,
all right.
we'll be back. We'll be back.
All right.
Just taking a week vacation.
All right. Well, well, at least you can vacation with a win on your mind. But man, go ahead. I believe you had a watcher out here. I have to go through. Boy, everybody kind of lit me up. Terry Earhart here.
Yep. So first off, shout out to I gotta give a huge shout out to my mom. She's recovering from hip replacement surgery, and I know she was watching tonight along with my dad. So glad they got to enjoy that. Got to see me bring home the win. I even have the Earhart Group on the side of the car, so representing their business well here to start the season off. Shout out to my grandparents in Houston. They both watch as well, and my aunt and uncle down there. And shout out to the league. Shout out to you, Patrick, for what you do. All the admins, and just what a way to start the season. What a way to start the season.
Yeah, bud. Well, go ahead, lean back, take it easy. Dennis Faircloth there loves how your paint looks good in those burnouts. So, man, go ahead and celebrate. Enjoy the rest of your night, bud, and really get ready to crack down in the beginning of September. I expect to see you there.
Yeah, I expect to coming back with the gonna come back from vacation with the momentum, and we're gonna continue to run up front, hopefully for the rest of the season.
All right, bud. Enjoy the rest of your night there.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Trevor Earhart really making it happen. I mean, wow. I mean, just this guy got it done. I mean, got it done, and how exciting that has to be to see him do that. Being able to just to not just that, but to survive, get that thing really where he wanted it, and just the right placement and the right time. And it's just this, man, just you can't ask for much more. But there we go, Trevor Earhart in the 21 Chevrolet. So we'll go ahead and run you through our lineup here. Trevor Earhart, Caleb Gilbert, Robert Rader, 1, 2, 3. David Buell, Chad Lancaster, Grant Thorpe, Kevin Orlando, Daryl Johnson, Peyton Presley, and Alex Kenton. They're in that 89 machine. I know Stellar, you like that paint job. Rounding out your top 10. So then we get to Nick Alves here. Let's see how we go. Oh, man, I bet you I even have something even cooler than that. Let's see if I got this. Let's see if it'll give it to me. Oh, there we go, baby. Look at that. Race results. All right, so you can follow along with me. So we have Nick Alves, Brandon Richardson, Adam Bowden, Ted Rekich, Blake Cook in the 15. Jeremy Burns kind of ended up, I believe, in a lot of that tangle up that you saw before. So in the 16th position, Travis Gilbert ended up same deal. Parker Johnson, 18th. Justice Murphy in the 19th. Michael Bennett, 20th. Let's get into the guys who just ended up on the unfortunate side. Scott Negus, Jacob Sirkovich, John Fike in the 23rd. Shane Loveridge in the 24th. Tay McDonald, 25th. David Stanfield, 26th. Kynan Jones, Ryan Twinman there. Ed Ryan, Alex Berube in the 30th position, and Logan Romney May just kind of piled up for him, which is just unfortunate on that deal. So really kind of a bummer for him. I hate to see that happen, but man, things happen. It's the fact of racing. But hopefully we'll see how that goes. Man, 18 cars on the lead lap, and what a battle it was here tonight. I'm so glad you guys came to join me here tonight. This was a fantastic race for you guys to join. Oh, man, I tell you what, if we are looking at races like that this weekend, we are in for quite a treat here at the Racing Revolution League. And now I have no doubt as to why Chapman Environmental Services goes ahead and signs on with these guys each and every year, especially this one. This is going to be a special one. But thank you for joining us here at SimTrax Broadcast, and you will be able to catch us again here August 31st at Las Vegas for the Smart Wave Solar 200 134 laps at that fantastic track, and we will be definitely ready for that. And don't forget to find us at all of our social media platforms. You can find us. Go ahead, tell us what you think, any kind of additions you have, and man, make it happen, guys. But once again, Simtrax Broadcasting, this is Patrick Morrison. Thank you and good night.